Cancer-free. You want
Good
Dr.
morning,
Mendez as your
everyone. Good
personal
morning.
Dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual skin cancer exam is covered by Medicare.
Yes, it
Dr.
is.
Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve KANE recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve is good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah. She takes extra good care of Steve KANE listeners and will get you an appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681.
Oh, it was spectacular.
431-7681.
This is Steve KANE. When it comes to looking your best, sometimes you need a little extra help. Dr. Nathan at the Nathan Clinic is a renowned plastic surgeon here in South Florida who will bring out your most beautiful self. Dr. Nathan, highly skilled, knows how to reveal your inner beauty and make you look your absolute best. He's a board-certified plastic
Welcome.
surgeon.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Make sure you subscribe. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, the rally was amazing. I'm going to talk about it, of course. I'm just waiting to come on the air.
And much, much more. Visit his website. Read the testimonials from his patients. They love Dr. Nathan, and you will too. He has years of experience and impressive credentials that make Dr. Nathan the only plastic surgeon you need visit. He'll advise you and tell you the best course of action so that you will always remain true to who you are. You can contact Dr. Nathan for a no-charge consultation by calling 305 area code 680-5121. That's area code 305-680-5121 or online at drnathan.com. Tell him you heard it on the Steve KANE Show.
The Steve KANE Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married.
All right.
When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3722. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve KANE Show is live in Morning Drive.
See, this is what I clean the studio with, Lysol wipes.
Overnights, midnight till
I did a big
6
Lysol
a.m.,
wipe
7-19.
down yesterday after
Call
the show.
Toll-free 1-888.
All right. Welcome, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve KANE Show, on the radio since 1977. It is Wednesday before Thanksgiving, November 27th, 2019. Lots going on, lots to talk about. Don't forget, attorney Barry Siegel, Tuesday in Boca, is having his revocable living trust and Medicaid planning seminars are next week on Tuesday, which is the 3rd of December. Call attorney Barry Siegel's office to let them know you're coming. 855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782. I was at the Trump rally last night, and I am so glad I went. It was an amazing, amazing experience. And I got to tell you, I was not planning on going, and I am so glad that I did. And the reason I wasn't planning on going is because I have to get up so early in the morning to be on the radio. And I need to be in bed by 10 o'clock. And I've been getting up at these hours for many, many years, but I have to really be asleep by 10 o'clock to do this normally. And I was like, I don't know. And my daughter wanted to go to the Trump rally really bad. So that's why I went. Well, it's not the only reason I went. I want to support Trump. But my daughter's like, we got to go, Dad. We got to go. And then when it came time to go yesterday, my daughter could not make it. So I ended up going by myself, but I wasn't really alone because I was surrounded by tens of thousands of like-minded MAGA Trump supporters, and I met a lot of great listeners at that rally yesterday. And to all of the listeners I met, some of you I didn't actually get to meet because you would yell at me from afar, you know, as I'm walking around. But I went to the men's room. And I ran in to listeners in the men's room. Luckily, I was not at the urinal when this happened, but I met a lot of great listeners yesterday. That was spectacular. But I'm very glad that I went because there is something about experience, and there's a lot of things that you experience and you observe that you just cannot catch on television. And that is what I'm going to talk about a lot here in the beginning. I'll tell you though, yesterday, I didn't know what the conditions were going to be at the rally. I went to one rally before in Boca during the campaign in a small venue with no seats. And once you were in, you were stuck. You couldn't even get out to go to the men's room. And I did something yesterday for this rally that wasn't really necessary. I found out after, but I did it just to give you some background. I got off the air yesterday at 9. I had things I had to do yesterday, and I got to the arena around 3:30. And I did get in and got a damn good seat, I must tell you. But what I did yesterday, I did not eat or drink anything after I got off the radio yesterday at 9. The only thing I consumed yesterday until about 10:30 at night when I got home was the coffee that I had yesterday morning. I did have a bottled water. I had a bottled water and coffee in the morning yesterday before I went on the air. I didn't eat or drink anything else all day. And the reason is I was afraid I wouldn't be able to get out to get to the men's room. And I didn't want to get stuck in there and not be able to make it to the men's room, or I didn't want a men's room break to stop me from getting a seat or keeping my seat. And what I found out at the rally is none of that was necessary. None of it was necessary. It was not. It was not whatsoever. But I wasn't suffering because there was a lot of excitement. But there's a lot of takeaways, and I imagine, if you were at the rally last night, I would love to hear from you. I mean, so many listeners yesterday, so many. I mean, my goodness. Trump should have brought me up on stage before he came out to warm up the crowd. We had so many Steve Kane Show listeners at that rally last night. I can't put a number on it, but there were a ton of listeners, and so many. In fact, I felt like if I went out on stage and did a speech, enough people would know who I was to enjoy me speaking. I think more people would have known me than one or two of these congressmen they called up there that I never heard of, even though they're in Florida. But I'm so glad that I went. I am really so glad that I went, and my first observation when I got to the rally and I was walking towards the arena, and even inside the arena, is I saw something that I've never seen at a Republican event like this. And you know what I saw a lot of? Black people. I saw so many black people. I was really amazed, because here I am at a Republican event, a very Republican event, and a rally for the Republican president of the United States, and there were so many black people. It was absolutely amazing. And I went by myself because my daughter at the last minute couldn't make it. And I was sitting between two women, and these women were not together. Each woman, one on my right, one on my left, Hispanic, and their first language is Spanish, because they're texting and talking to people on the phone, friends, family. The woman next to me was talking to her husband, and they were talking in Spanish. And I saw so many Haitians for Trump, gays for Trump, women for Trump, Latinas for Trump, Latinos for Trump. It was everything. And when I left last night, I was live streaming this, by the way. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can. I did live stream on YouTube the rally, and also live stream my long walk back to the car. I parked at the mall across the street, the Sawgrass Mills Mall, which was a very smart move. Got out of there kind of easily. But when I left and I saw the amount of ethnic, religious, a lot of Jews there. They wear yarmulkes. That's how you can tell. A lot of Jews, blacks, Latinos, gays. I realize now that the Republican Party is the party of racial, ethnic, sexuality, and religious diversity, not the Democrats. The Democrats are into groupthink. It's amazing how diverse President Trump has made the Republican Party. And to me, that was absolutely amazing, which means that the Republican Party is mainstream. You know, the amount of Hispanic people that were there. And by the way, these are not all Cubans. I know they say, oh, you're in Miami. No, it was not Miami. We were not in Miami. And by the way, not every Hispanic person is Cuban. In fact, more are not Cuban. A lot of Latin people, they like to have on their phone and jewelry and shirts and everything else the flag of their country. Venezuelan, bunch of flags I don't know, Puerto Rican. Okay, they were not all Cubans. In fact, probably most of them were not Cubans. And the Democrats have been pushing this agenda inside their party that Hispanic people are Democrat, and that's just not the case. That is not the case whatsoever. It was absolutely amazing. So when President Trump and everyone's chanting build the wall, there was a build the wall chant going on. And I've got a Venezuelan woman on my left. I've got this other Hispanic woman on my right. She had a flag. I don't know what country that flag was from. But both of these Hispanic women next to me were chanting build the wall when we were chanting that. Now they did it with a very heavy Hispanic accent, but the Hispanic people were chanting build the wall. And I mean that's amazing. That's amazing. And there were so many takeaways. So listen, I'm going to take the first break on time, and then I'll start to talk in a little more detail about the rally last night. Anyone who was at the rally last night, I really want to hear your thoughts and your experience having been there. 1-888 go KANE 1 888-465-2631 888-465-2631. That's our toll-free number. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. That's right, on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car.
No, we go out to eat for
$135
Thanksgiving.
At the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday.
I was yelling so much, I lost my
has
voice a
Saturday
little bit.
appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices
there were
are
more
so
than 17,000.
reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Oh,
Will reimburse payments up to a total of $1,800 based on purchase and MSRP on approved credit. Excludes tax, tag time loan, includes $8.99 dealer fee. Offer runs 12/31/19.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the rematch of the prize fight of the century. In this corner, the reigning 5-time champ, Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 for SET. And in this corner, challengers from every other manufacturer. The challengers come out swinging, but Toyota of Hollywood delivers a crushing blow by selling Toyotas at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used.
50% less.
A pre-owned 2019 Camry SE, not $28,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $21,000, $12,775. Buy any new Toyota and we'll make your payments for 12 months. At Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for...
All right, welcome back. Brian Craig here with you. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show, the most pro-Donald Trump radio show in America. In fact, I think the world. Oh, man. Do you want to leave you guys, by the way, listen to my podcast, the Brian Craig Show podcast? I am on most podcast platforms, the Brian Craig Show podcast, well over 850 episodes. Make sure you listen and subscribe. It's completely free. I'm on most every podcast platform. And I also started a couple months ago uploading my podcast to my YouTube channel. But check out and subscribe to my podcast if you do not. All right? All right, so we're talking about the rally. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. You're on the radio.
This is Mike, Brian.
Hey, Mike in Louisiana. How you doing?
Over the country, how these Trump rallies have had overflows to them. You may be at a 25,000 seat arena, and you may get 10, 15,000 people overflow. You know, was there an overflow there?
Yeah, and in fact, you know, this arena. I don't know how many it seats. Let me look at the seating because I've heard conflicting things. It's the Bank Atlantic Center Sunrise capacity because it holds a lot of people. I can't find the capacity. Let me see here. If somebody knows the capacity, if you could let me know. I can't look it up right now while I'm talking to Mike in Louisiana here. Someone just told me 20,000. It was filled to the rafters. You know, I got there. I got in my seat at about 3:45. Okay, and so I was there about 4 hours before the president, and it was about 3/4 filled then. And by the time Pence came out, it was filled to the rafters up. I'm literally the rafters up at the ceiling, the nosebleed seats. And in fact, one of my sisters was there, coincidentally. I didn't even know she was going to be there. And she got there, and she was up in the rafters. She could like touch the ceiling of the arena pretty much from where she was sitting. It was completely packed. And there was a lot of overflow. Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's the thing now. Looking at the Democratic Party, you talked about how diverse the crowd was in the party, but looking at the Democratic Party, we can all say that the way they built that party is they've cobbled together constituency groups from Jews, blacks, Hispanics.
Well, okay, Trump said 21 to 22,000. Well, let me tell you why you get these conflicting numbers, 20, 22. That arena is built for hockey. We have a hockey team here in South Florida, the Florida Panthers. And the Florida Panthers play there. And the capacity that they give you, I believe, is for the hockey games. And on the floor where the stage is ice during a hockey game. And I think these low numbers that they give you in the fake news are for hockey games, which is what the place is built for. They don't include the floor. And the floor, the floor, they do have some of because of security, they don't let the whole floor get packed in from end to end. They keep some areas for security open so there can be movement. But the floor was at capacity as well. And I don't think that they count because I've heard these counts of 17 and 18. That doesn't include the floor. So the 22 number that the president gave, I'd say it's accurate. I've been in that arena many, many times over the years for all kinds of events. I even saw Benny Hinn, the evangelist faith healer, there. I have never seen it filled to capacity before. I've been there for hockey games. I've been there for concerts. I went there to see the American Idol concert when American Idol was hot. The year that they had Sanjaya on. I've been there for many concerts. I've been there for Disney on Ice. I have been there dozens and dozens of times since that place was built. I have never seen it filled like it was last night.
Oh yeah, and you're right about the different. The different kinds of Hispanics. I mean, Cubans, Hondurans, Guatemalans, Brazilians. You know.
Did you now? Let me ask you. Did you watch the Florida rally on television last night?
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is an interesting thing because I was there. You watched it on TV. What would I just having watched it on TV as opposed to me being there? There was one big takeaway that I'm going to talk about after the next break. The biggest takeaway I took from the whole rally, there were a few takeaways, but there was one huge one for me, and I'll tell you after the break, but watching it on television.
Takeaway was like you, was the thing you said earlier, how diverse Trump has made the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I've been to a lot of Republican events, okay, over the years, and honestly, they've been almost 100% white with a Cuban or two. There might be one Caribbean black person there. I've never seen. There were moments in the rally, you know, when I was getting there and I was in certain areas where I was the racial minority. There were so many black and Hispanic people there, and I could not believe how many black people were at this Trump rally. It really blew my mind to see so many black people, you know, at a Republican president's rally. That was huge, but that wasn't the biggest thing I took away. But I'll tell you guys after the break. But it was a huge success.
And it's not just that. I'm looking at that crowd last night, yesterday afternoon, and I'm looking at it, and I'm saying almost half of that was women.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. A lot of women, and I'll tell you, the Republican women are much better looking than the Democrat women. We've got some hotties. We got they should, instead of women for Trump, it should be hotties for Trump. I mean, we've got some really hot women in the Republican Party. It's true. You know what I think that is? I think women like men. I don't think they like metrosexual pansy men like Obama. You know, I think women like strong men, and Donald Trump's a strong man, and I think women, especially attractive women, are attracted to that.
I mean, look at all three of his wives, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Ivana and Marla Maples, and now the First Lady.
I was never a big Marla Maples fan. I always thought she was kind of... When President Trump married Marla Maples, I was like... I felt she was beneath him, look-wise. I didn't think she was up to his standards.
I don't think so either, but she's better looking than some of the Democratic women.
Oh, yeah.
Particularly in Congress.
You know, you get the president's campaign manager was speaking before the president came out, before Pence and came out. And when he was speaking, we heard Marine One fly over. And in this arena with people cheering, Marine One was so loud. In fact, I felt it. It must have flown directly over the building because I could feel it when it flew over. And it got so exciting. It got so exciting. The campaign manager, I've forgotten his name. Brad, is it Pascal? I forgot his name. But he's a good guy and a very good public speaker. And he's doing a good job running the campaigns thus far. I hope things turn out better for him than they did for the last campaign manager, Manafort, you know. But when we heard and felt the roar of Marine One landing, flying into the arena, and we were inside this place, that everything changed right then with the crowd. I mean, it was like so exciting. It was like electrifying.
Oh, sure. You know, and you're looking at, it's not just the women he's married, but look at Kellyanne Conway's not a bad-looking woman. Of course, he appointed a real Native American woman in Nikki Haley.
You know, there was one thing at the rally. Now, those of you at the rally, at least the men had to notice this. Okay, they had, there were a lot of police, of course, a lot of security. There were a lot of police, a lot of Secret Service, uniformed and ununiformed. But they also had this private security firm doing security there. They looked private. They didn't look government to me. And they were, all of them were wearing black pants and gray shirts. And those of you at the rally, they all looked like they were ex-military. And most all of them, at least on my side of the arena, were women. And these were like, it was like the women from where Wonder Woman is from. You know what I mean? Paradise Island, where Wonder Woman. These women they all looked ex-military, but they didn't look gay. They were some of the hottest, sexiest women I've ever seen. They were all in perfect shape. They're wearing these skin-tight uniform, this security uniform they're wearing. They all had the same haircut. They look like fembots. Anybody remember fembots? You guys know? Anybody know what fembots? Do you know what a fembot is? Okay, a fembot from the $6 Million Man. And it was like this army of the sexiest women that you've ever seen in your life. They had, I'm not a tattoo guy. They had tattoos on their. You could tell they had military tats on their arms and things like this. And it was this army of fembots that were doing security in the seating area. It was amazing. I've never seen women like this before. Usually women that you see that are like ex-military look gay. They look like lesbians, right? You wouldn't want to mess with one of these women.
New Wonder Woman.
Yeah, they were like Gal Gadot. Yeah.
The Israeli military. She kind of fits the mold that
Gal Gadot, or whatever her name is. Yeah, they were women like that. The new Wonder Woman, the Israeli Wonder Woman. They were like that. And I would say they were ex-Marines. To someone in the chat said probably ex-Marines. I didn't get close enough to any of them to see the tats. Because I wanted to see if I saw the globe and anchor on the tattoos. And I noticed a couple of them seemed to have the same tattoos. So they were definitely ex-military, probably Marines. I'll tell you this, they weren't in the Air Force. Air Force women don't look like this. They're not, and they're millennials, but they're not snowflakes. But the Trump women at this event, they're amazing women. And when they talk about being pro-life, whoever the speaker is on stage, you see the women cheer with support. I think most women are against abortion in America today. I really do. The Democrats are wrong on every issue.
The thing with abortion, like most democratic issues, is the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and basically it's a minor, it's a minority of people that have spoken out for abortion over the years.
Yeah.
And that's how come.
Yeah. Well, listen, Mike, I got to run. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Mike in Louisiana. Thanks for the call. And when we get back, there was the biggest takeaway, and I'm not trying to do this as some type of, I don't do these Todd Schnitt-like teases to get people to listen through breaks, but the biggest takeaway that I got from the rally was right in the beginning, and I'll tell you what it was when we get back from the break. My name's Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. That's right. The most pro-Trump radio show in America, The Steve Kane Show. Those that were at the rally in person last night, I would really like to hear from you and hear your thoughts and experiences on everything you saw at the rally. I'm looking forward to hearing from PJ. PJ, I did see PJ last night, and it seemed to me, I could be wrong about this, but I think PJ had a conflict with a woman at the rally last night. Had a little problem with a woman at the rally last night. I was observing from about 20, 30 feet away, but it looked like PJ had a run-in with a woman last night who was a little difficult. So I want to get the gossip on what that was. All right, we'll take our break. 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 33 minutes after the hour. We'll be right back.
It's Adrienne Kane. It's Christmas time, and what better gift to give than the gift of a good night's sleep with a MyPillow pillow top mattress. Dad gave me one as a gift. And I'm so glad he did. I was talking to Dad and I was telling him I wasn't sleeping at night. I was tossing and turning all night long. I had an old, worn out, lumpy, bumpy mattress that was so uncomfortable. I wasn't getting any sleep. A couple of days later, there was a knock at the door and it was a My Pillow mattress. I slept on it that night, and ever since I've been sleeping the whole night through. No more tossing, no more turning, and when my alarm goes off in the morning, I'm up and ready to go and well rested. Give your kids, grandkids, spouse, or yourself the gift of a good night's sleep with a My Pillow mattress. Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. When you use the promo code KANE, you can save up to
Be right back.
$300 off your My Pillow mattress. They come in all sizes, from twin to California king and every size in between. Go to mypillow.com and be sure to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Order yours today. It's worth its weight in restful sleep. And Merry Christmas from the whole KANE family.
When you need drug testing or STD testing, you want to keep it private. After all, it's no one's business but yours. At any lab test now or plantation, all of their testing is completely confidential. That means if you need a test that's for your eyes only, visit any lab test now or plantation, where nothing ever goes on your medical record. And you don't even have to use your name. If you have any questions, call 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072. Online, labtestingplantation.com. Any lab test now or plantation is located in the Public Shopping Center, just west of University Drive, on the north side of Sunrise Boulevard.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Yes, yes. All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. I was at that Trump rally last night in Sunrise. We're talking about that. I'm looking for people who were at the rally. I met so many listeners last night. It was absolutely amazing. I've never met listeners in a men's room before. Yeah, I know. That's a great place to meet people. The men's room. You ever have somebody come up to you in the men's room and hey, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. All right, now I'll tell you this. Okay, my biggest takeaway from the rally last night. There were a lot of takeaways, but this to me was the biggest takeaway, the best takeaway, and a spectacular thing. Now, I did live stream the rally from my seat. If you go to my YouTube channel. And I had a very good seat. And the seat was cushioned. The seats have cushions there. Oh, which was so nice. Because I was there for about 4 hours before the president came out. But I had a view of that long walkway to the stage from the time he exited from the back and walked all the way to the podium. And this is the biggest takeaway that I had. And this was absolutely amazing. Okay? And I don't know how many of you were there that thought about this. See, when I go to something like this, I'm observing. I'm looking to see everything that's going on, more so than I am listening to the speaker, even the president. Because you can listen on TV and hear what the speech is. You can't observe everything. Yeah, I think I had a spectacular view. I was to the left of the president, stage left of the president, and I wanted to be there on that part because I wanted to get a good view of him walking out because they had that long walkway and walking back at the end after. But when he came out, he was walking so slow and casually, I couldn't believe. You know, when Pence came out, he waved, he's got the Secret Service around him, and he goes right to the podium. President Trump was so... You know how I would describe his body language, his effect, his personality, his tone yesterday? Chill. Chill. He was so relaxed and chill. And when he came out, he just walked so slowly. He was throwing the hats. I'm sure you saw that, waving at people. And he was just so relaxed and chilled out. And then he went up there and spoke. I don't know how long he was up there. Time goes by so fast. He was up there well over an hour. I don't know the exact time. And when he walked back at the end, after this incredible speech and all the energy and excitement, he walked back just as relaxed, just as slow, just as chill. And this is why that was the biggest takeaway for me. I'll tell you why that was the biggest takeaway. And if you were there, I don't think you pick this up when you're watching the rallies on TV because you don't get to see them in person. You don't get to see the angle. You're looking right just at the podium. President Trump does not have a worry in the world. You can tell in his body language and the way he was walking and the way he was going, he does not have a worry in the world, which is absolutely amazing for a president. I've met other presidents before. I've never seen one this chilled out with everything he has going on. And as upset as people get over this Schiff and this Nadler crap going on with this coup of the impeachment push in the House, President Trump doesn't have a concern in the world, which means, like he said, it's all BS, although he said the whole word last night. I can't say it on the radio. If what was going on in the House was going to lead to anything, do you think he would be so relaxed, so chill, so calm, so cool? I was amazed. And at the last rally I was at during the campaign, he wasn't that chill at all. He was not. And President Trump knows what's coming. He knows what's coming from Barr and Durham. He knows what's coming from... He's the president. He gets briefings. He knows what's coming with the IG report. And he knows what's really going on in the House of Representatives, not what they show us on television. And that to me, that was my biggest takeaway last night, how chill the president was. All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning. You are on the radio.
Hi. This is can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay,
yeah, I was there. I was 2 rows over from where he walked out. So I had a really good view of him, and it was amazing. I had so much fun, and the energy, and...
Well, did you notice when you were closer than I, because you're right by that walkway, did you notice how relaxed, calm, and chill President Trump was when he walked out and after the speech when he walked back?
Yes, and the other thing was that platform that he had to walk through. That was very difficult. Hillary would have never made.
Yeah, the zigzag. Yeah, I mean, did he look like a man who had a worry in the world about anything?
No, he didn't. He looks like he's a little bit angry. I mean, I think he's angry about this whole coup, but...
I'll tell you what. During the speech, he got worked up, and I think what got him angry was, what he sees at a rally, he's looking directly at the scumbags in the media. And I was watching the media a lot, too, when he was talking. And I was watching them before. And the media are a bunch of scumbag bastards. And, before he came out, you would see them back there. They were working on their laptops. They were reporting. You'd see them in front of cameras. They disrespected him so much when he was speaking because they know that he can see them because he's looking directly at the press box. They sit back in their chairs, slumped back with their legs crossed. They're not watching him. They're not listening. They're in their phones. They're talking. The lady reporters that look all dolled up and everything on TV, they're sitting back with their leg over there, looking down, falling asleep. They're what the media do, and if anybody else noticed this at the rally who got looks at the media during the speech, what the media do during the speech is a form of silent protest to try to throw him off. And when you're doing public speaking, when people are looking disinterested and asleep and tired, that can throw you off when you're doing public speaking. And the media are purposely trying to distract him, bring him down, look as if, because they're the audience he really sees. And I was really shocked at their body language of the press during the speech. How about the? I mean, could you believe how many black people were there? My goodness, I could not believe how many black people were at a Republican rally.
Yeah, yeah, there were some, but Broward is pretty controlled by Democrats, unfortunately.
Don't be so sure about that. Don't be so sure about that. I don't think so. We have it used to be in the past, but the party machine of the Democrats has fallen. We got rid of the incompetent sheriff and the corrupt election supervisor, and I think that Broward County is a lot less Democrat than we believe because of the corruption of the machine with their vote fraud operation.
Yeah, well, I live in Coral Springs, and we're fighting the school board right now and all the Common Core and everything. I want to see that gone.
Well, I mean, look, you're in Coral Springs. We broadcast from Coral Springs. One of our sponsors, we have Tavolino's and Wings Plus. How many humongous Republican events have you seen at Wings Plus over the years in Coral Springs? And and Wings Plus is a very they're like Mike Lindell at My Pillow. They are very openly supportive of Republicans, have been forever. And it's the busiest lunch destination and dinner location in Coral Springs.
Well, it's good talking to you. I'm glad I heard you in probably 20 years since like Norm Kent.
Oh my gosh, you go way back. How'd you get back to us? How'd you get back to us?
The radio yesterday.
Oh, well, great. Well, welcome back. Welcome back. Well, great. Take care. All right. Thanks for calling. Oh, boy. She hasn't heard us in like 20 plus years. Oh, my goodness. Well, this is the longest running radio show. So when you're the longest running radio show, that happens. Yes. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Let's take our last break of the first hour. We'll get back. We'll talk more about the rally. Looking for more people to call in who were at the rally. Now, I know the rally went late last night, so a lot of the rally goers, they may be, I got about 3.5 hours sleep last night, and I'm here on the radio. My voice is a little because I was yelling and cheering and chanting so much. About 3/4 of the way through the president's speech, I stopped, though, because I knew if I continued, I wouldn't have a voice to get through the radio show this morning. All right, let's take our last break of the first hour. It is 46 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all, and our skin bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this for you than Dr. Jose Mendez. Dr. Mendez is a board-certified dermatologist. And when it comes to caring for your skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible and skin cancer-free, you want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual skin cancer exam is covered by Medicare. Dr. Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve Kane recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve is good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah. She takes extra good care of Steve Kane listeners and will get you an appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive.
Oh man, I'm 25 subscribers away from 3,700 on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe. Brian Craig on YouTube. I'm 25 subs away from 3,700. Wow, that's awesome.
Diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin.
Yeah, I'm just looking right now.
Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Sole Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoleauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. This is the one time of year you can make changes to your Medicare plan. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080, and have her review your Medicare plan, 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, that's right. And, of course, we're talking about this great Trump rally we had here in South Florida yesterday. I was there sharing our thoughts, our observations. Don't forget, Tuesday next week, the 3rd of December, Attorney Barry Siegel is having his Medicaid planning and revocable living trust planning workshops in Boca, same location up there on Glades Road that he's had the past ones. It's completely free. You're all invited. Give his office a call just to let them know you're coming. 855-FLA-ESTATE. 855-352-3782. Completely free event. It's Tuesday next week. All right, let's go to the phones. Taj, you're on the radio. Muslims for Trump.
Morning, Brian.
Hey, how's it going, Taj?
I'm heading in for work, so I feel you when you had to wake up early and start
Steve Kane
working.
Show.
I understand.
Hey, yeah, I know. It's rough.
Just give you my observation about what I saw last night. And you mentioned that Mr. Trump was very calm when he was speaking, and yet he still had that passion, similar to when he was just campaigning before he won.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to see that he's held on to the same passion, because a lot of these guys, once they get elected, the deep state gets to them, and they start talking like robots, like when Obama. If you compare Obama's speech when he was running to after he got elected, you could tell that they got to him. But
yeah,
and I was looking for you too, and I guess we were in the same section. I may have been a little higher up, but I was trying to look for you too, but I missed you.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. We met in spirit. Well, I just found when President Trump walked out, he was so relaxed and chill that all this crap from Schiff that now they're bringing up Pizza the Hut here, Nadler with impeachment, he knows it's going nowhere. If he thought he was going to be impeached, I don't think he would be so relaxed.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right too. I think that's going to go absolutely nowhere.
Did you hear me talking to the last caller about the silent protest of the media during the speech?
Like lights off, and I didn't actually outside the arena. There was very, very few press.
Yeah, they don't want to. Yeah, they don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to interview people. Well, what I told, well, you didn't hear what I said to the last caller, lady who was there as well. When the president was speaking, the media went into what I would describe as a silent protest. They didn't look at him. They were leaning back in their chairs with their legs crossed, looking the other way, into their phones, having private conversations. Because the press is what he sees most of while he's speaking, because they're right in front of him. And they're trying to, they're doing a couple of things. One, they're purposely showing him a sign of disrespect. And they're also trying to throw him off by basically looking like they're asleep and disinterested while he's speaking, which is a big distraction when sometimes we'll have people come in when we're doing the show to watch us. And if somebody is like leaning back in their chair and not paying attention, it's distracting. Because you see, if I'm talking on the radio and there's somebody in the other room I'm looking at and they're having a private conversation on their phone or something, it's like they're not interested. It's distracting. That's what the press tried to do to President Trump. And I saw it last night. They're disgusting people.
That's exactly right. I can't trust any of them.
What was your biggest takeaway from the rally? yesterday. Your biggest personal takeaway? Steve Kane
well,
show.
like I said, I had my Muslims for Trump T-shirt, and
Hello?
a few people were saying, yeah, and like I didn't encounter any prejudice at all.
No.
There's a
Yeah, low life.
misconception of how everybody has to be politically correct to all these
Yeah.
groups, and this is a much more inclusive. I grew up, like probably I think we're similar ages. When Reagan was president, everybody talked about a melting pot. Everybody had their traditional values and culture, but yet in the end, we're all Americans, and no one talks about a melting pot anymore. This was a melting pot because it was truly diverse.
It was, I got to tell you, that crowd last night was the most diverse political crowd I've ever seen, and nobody was bussed in by social justice warriors. These are people that came on their own, and every ethnicity, every religion you could imagine, everybody there. And I've never seen diversity like this at a political rally, and it wasn't segregated. What I mean by that is, if you go to a Democrat rally, you'll see Black Lives Matter, you'll see gays for Hillary and all this stuff, and they're all in their own seating area. Like, if they have, like, Latinos for Hillary, there'll be a Latino section. The gays at the Democrat thing, there'll be a gay section. There'll be a black section, because they're bussed in together. It's not real. This, everybody came on their own, and it was like an integrated audience because people just sat where they could get a seat. And the diversity was something I've never. I mean, I knew different people support Trump, but I did not even realize how diverse the support of Trump is, racially, religious, everything. It's amazing. Did you, by the way, notice those? I was talking about these at the top. You probably want. Did you notice the private security, those super women, those sexy military?
Women you were talking about.
There were a few of them.
In shape and yeah.
I have never seen women like that before. Because usually, they obviously were ex-military because there were a few of them, and they had the tats on their arm. And usually when you see women that are ex-military, they look like lesbians or they're overweight or something. These women, these were like perfect specimens of humanity. I've never seen women that are in that kind of condition, can kick anybody's ass, and hot. I've never seen women like that before. Not in such numbers.
Right. No, I know what you're talking about.
You know exactly. See, I told you. I knew the guys in attendance would know exactly. And one of them came up. You weren't allowed to have flags, and someone up in my area had a flag, and one of them came up. And I was trying to see your tattoo because I'm telling you, they were Marines. Those were Lady Marines. They had to be in the. They weren't Coast Guard, Air Force, or Navy. They had to be Marines. All right. Anyway, Taj, thanks for the call. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hi, Brian. I'm calling from Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Hey, how you doing?
I was wondering if you knew anything about what happened behind Trump. As I'm looking at the computer, it would be on my right-hand side. Some woman came and took a guy away, and he was.
Oh yeah, the woman was one of the. It was one of those fembots I was talking about. Women. Yeah, I saw that. It was when it was behind the president, right? Yelling. I didn't because I wasn't in that section, but I did hear it because when they were taking him out, he was screaming like a girl. And this pansy snowflake was being removed by one of these fembot women I was talking about. He just got up and started screaming something that I couldn't make out, and that's why they removed him.
Yeah, well, I've been to 2 of his rallies in North Carolina, and they are awesome. The media on every one of them, they shut their lights off.
Yeah. The media and after the top of the hour, I'm going to talk about this story. Oh, thanks, Charlene. I'm going to talk about this story that President Trump told about the media last night. I'm sure you all saw it. It was in the speech about the fake news about him having a heart attack and what the media did. It was a pretty amazing story he told last night.
Yeah, there is another rumor going around that one of his Secret Service, his private food tester,
Yeah, I heard that fake news. Yeah, fake news. It's all fake news. It's all fake news. All right, listen, I got to run for the top of the hour, but all right, thanks for the call, Virginia, on the line. All right. Okay, we're coming up at the top of the hour. 1 hour down, 2 to go. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Indeed, indeed. All right, our second hour. Those that were at the rally last night, I would really like to get more calls from people. We've heard from some people at the rally other than myself. I want to hear your thoughts, your observations, your takeaways, your experience. If you were at this incredible Trump rally last night, give me a call. Toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's Kane with a K, K-A-N-E, and the number 1. 888-GO-KANE-1. All right, it's 7 o'clock. Hour number 2 begins now.
1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
The Medicare open enrollment period is here. Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080, and allow her to educate and guide you through the many plans, choices, and cost considerations. I Will Advisors represents all major insurance companies, not just a single carrier, so they will make sure you choose the best option for you. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors at 954
Steve Kane Show.
753 8080. 954 753 8080.
This is Steve Kane. When it comes to looking your best, sometimes you need a little extra help.
Steve keeps calling me during the segments, and we're playing phone tag. That's what I've been doing. Steve and I've been playing phone tag for 45 minutes.
Your most beautiful self. Dr. Nathan, highly skilled, knows how to reveal your inner beauty and make you look your absolute best. He's a board-certified plastic surgeon. People come from miles around.
See, I keep a radio boom box over here on the side. Let me see if I can show it to you without moving everything. I can't show it to you, but here's the radio.
Dr. Nathan performs breast augmentations, face...
That's on one of our stations. I have it on our AM station. So listen, it's on delay. Now listen.
That make Dr. Nathan the only plastic...
Now the next, it'll show you the length of the delay. This commercial is going to end in 25 seconds. So when the next commercial starts, I'll turn on the radio. You'll see how long our delay is in case someone uses profanity. Listen.
By calling 305 area code 680-5121.
Thanks for that super chat. I appreciate that.
305-680-5121 or online at drnathan.com. Tell them you heard it on the Steve Kane Show.
Okay, that's the next commercial. On the radio.
The Steve Kane Show.
Hey guys, Brian. It takes a while. Are you 30 years of age or older? If you... Yeah. It's 7.5 seconds we have it on today. Yeah. 7. Sometimes we have it at 15, but today it's set at 7.5.
To be that way, though. Call my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez, at 561-953-5490. Talk to him about hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy will give you your energy back. You're going to feel better. You're going to be more productive. And your sex life and sex drive will be back like it was when you were 25. It's a free consultation with Dr. Matez, but you have to...
Oh, man.
...on the radio. 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. Online, hormonetherapybocaraton.com.
No, I'm not sleepy.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney.
My voice from yelling's a little off.
Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3682.
Hey, Sarah.
The opinions expressed on the following
sponsored
program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. To call the show toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. 1977. Hour number 2 has begun. And I was at that Trump rally last night in Sunrise, Florida. We've been talking about that. I'm going to go back to the phones before I share other observations. Oh, man, what a great. I'm so glad I went. 1-888 go Kane 1. Let's go far away to Pompano Beach, Florida. Hey, Pompano.
Hi, how you doing, guys? A great rally. By the way, you know what my mistake was from the rally?
Oh, wait, hold on. Were you at the rally? No, okay.
Televised the whole thing. I had to follow. I finally found an eBay. Just part of it was televised. And that really bothers me because it was a great, great speech.
Fox News didn't Fox News didn't carry the whole rally?
They didn't. You were there. I was there, and they turned it off, and I saw Tucker was talking some nonsense, and then it went off about 10 minutes, 5 minutes to 9, it went off.
Yeah.
I wanted Channel 2, Channel 4 was, Channel 6, Channel 7, Channel 10, CNN, you know, all.
Well, why were you not there then? You're complaining you wanted to see it. Why didn't you just go? You're right down the street. Oh, you're an old guy, you can't get around?
I got an eBay in Channel 14 for the whole thing.
Oh, good.
That's really tragic. We're in Broward County at the show. It's a great rally, and you know, because of that, people should vote for Trump because he really wants to get the swamp. And we have no news. It's not even fake news. No news. It's like gossip.
Yeah, you have to watch on YouTube.
They should call it gossip. That's all it is.
Well, you know, if you in the future, if you want, it is you're exactly correct. In fact, the media is not only gossip; it's at a lower level than the tabloids. TMZ and the National Enquirer would not run with stories without anything backing them up, like CNN and the rest do. Yeah.
Have to get out there. Get the whole. We all have to. All Republicans, not just Republicans, the right Republicans, the ones that the Trump campaign recommends.
Yeah.
Because we have to a lot of. We're going to lose our country in the war.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys are really great. I was there in spirit, though, and thanks for going.
Well, good. Well, thanks for calling. Well, thank you. All right. Thanks for calling. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yeah. Good.
Oh, hey, Richie. Richie, the bus driver.
Yeah, I didn't go, but I was there last night through your eyes and through your seat.
Oh, yeah, you were watching my YouTube stream? Yeah.
Your YouTube stream, when I went to bed, I put it on, and I don't know what time I fell asleep, because my wife fell asleep. She said it was after 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, man.
To you.
Oh.
It was a different perspective. I understand what you're saying, because when you're watching on TV, you're listening to the president, but I felt like we were in the crowd. And it was a totally... I recommend go to Brian's YouTube and watch that stream, because you'll get chills up your arm.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That's number one. Number two, you talked about all the Spanish. Weston is full of Colombians and Venezuelans who, and they know what socialism is, and that's why you see it packed in like that. And as for the blacks, they're starting to realize that the Democratic Party have been promising them crap for 50 years and haven't delivered nothing. Absolutely zero. The only ones that have made out in the black community are the black leaders that are in Congress and these fakers that have used their own people to get ahead in their life. And
yeah.
The other thing I wanted to say to you was you brought up the fact about the press disrespecting the president. You want to know who disrespects the president? Not just the press, the whole Democratic Party. Because if you can remember the State of the Union, which I'll never forget, when the president got up there and said, we defeated ISIS, not one Democrat got off his duff. They all...
Yeah.
And no clap, no nothing. That shows they're anti-American as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Really anti-American.
Yeah, it was a great... I'm hoping to hear from PJ, because PJ looked like he had words with a woman in front of him. PJ, there were these women a couple rows in front of PJ, and they were standing up, and one woman wouldn't sit down. And people were yelling at her. She wouldn't sit down, and one of the women went up to PJ, and I saw PJ talking to the woman. It looked like PJ had a conflict there with these women. I wanted to get an update on that, so PJ might still be sleeping because he was there pretty late.
Also, I want to throw something out there. There's a thing called enthusiasm. The Democrats, Deval Patrick, his opening speech had two people.
Two people. Yeah, two people.
You got Biden, who stutters, can't remember what day of the week it is. You got this other crazy woman. You know, they talk about Biden. You ever look at Pocahontas, how she speaks? I mean, she's like a raging, mad, crazy woman. You got the old angry curmudgeon communist, Bernie Sanders. They are in big trouble, and they know it. I mean,
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's on the wall. It is
Yeah.
going to be a bigger landslide than ever in the history of this country.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you know, when I walked in to the rally, when I was in the park, I parked across the street at the Sawgrass Mills Mall, which was so smart of me to do. I got out of there so easily. But and my seats were perfect. I was at the level where the exit is. Oh man, I was in the first group to get out. It was amazing. But when I was walking in, I saw the fake Democrat counter rally that they had. Debbie Wasserman Schultz spoke there, and I'm going to play some clips of that coming up later. The stage was about the size of the room I'm in right now, this control room that I broadcast from. It was this tiny stage, and there were maybe a dozen people there, that for the counter protest. We're in the well, this is the thing, okay? This is the so-called Broward County is the so-called Democrat stronghold. And when I see the Democrat counter rally headed by Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who's a senior Democrat and of Broward County, and there's only about a dozen people there with the level of energy she had, I mean, Trump has broken the opposition. They can't even, the machine of Broward County can't even put together a decent protest event against the Republican president. He has broken the Democrat machine of Broward County. And that thing with Debbie Wasserman Schultz should not have taken the stage. It was embarrassing. It was like the Deval Patrick rally.
I want to throw something at you that you're lucky. You're a lucky man, and I guess everyone there is lucky. My wife used to work at Sawgrass Mills. They will tow your car if they know you're at that arena for any reason.
Oh, really?
If you park at the mall and you're at the arena, they will tow you.
How do they know? How do they know?
Watch. They watch.
What a bunch of bastards.
Cameras all over the...
Oh my gosh, what a bunch of jerks.
Yeah, they do that. I mean, they tell all the employees, everybody there knows. That's a known thing. I was going to say something to you yesterday, but I didn't want to kill anything, so I shut my mouth.
Well, a lot of people parked over there. I didn't see tow trucks.
Yeah.
I mean,
out there.
Well, at a Trump rally, I've never done that before. I mean, I go to events there all the time. I always park at the arena, but I didn't last night because I had so many roads blocked for the president. But a lot of people parked at the Sawgrass Mills Mall in that one area. If they would have started towing cars, could you imagine the outrage if they started throwing Trump cars?
If anything, to be spiteful, that's what they would do.
Yeah, there was one, I didn't eat or drink anything yesterday. I was talking earlier because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to make it to the men's room because at the last rally I was at, I was packed in and I was alone. I didn't have anybody to save my seat or anything, so I didn't eat or drink anything, so I didn't have to take a pee break because I thought I might not be able to either get to the men's room or wouldn't have my seat when I got back, which was not a problem because the Trump people are nice people. They don't behave like animals like at these Democrats. But right before the president came out, I didn't know he was coming out yet, and I went to the concession stand, and I'm in line. I'm so thirsty to just get a bottle of water, and the Secret Service came over and shut down the concession, and I was like, oh, this is it. And I walked around the corner, and the police presence had increased by about 50 times from 5 minutes before, and I'm like, oh, he's coming in. It gets so excited. But I saw something I've never seen before.
Look,
yeah,
and watching it on television.
Well, I appreciate that. Richie. I appreciate you don't get compliments from Richie very often, so you got to savor them. But there was one thing I've never seen before, and they brought out the presidential seal to put on the podium, and they had like an honor guard, and I don't know who they were. I don't know if they were Secret Service. I think they probably were Secret Service. They looked like Secret Service, and they walked out with like an honor guard, and the one guy had the seal in his hands, facing up like you would hold the flag if you were doing an honor thing with the American flag. And they have this whole ceremony they do. And then they put it on the podium. And then one of them goes up to the podium and moves it and shakes it and talks and leans on to make sure it doesn't fall off. You know, it was pretty interesting. All right, Richie, thanks for the call. Let's take our first break of the second hour. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Oh, man, I think our rally goers, a lot of them are probably asleep still. I understand. I got about 3.5 hours sleep last night. But you know what? I'm filled with energy. Why? Because of Dr. Mitch Matez and hormone replacement pellet therapy. You know, Dr. Matez called in yesterday, and I said, oh, man, I got a long day. I'm going to be up for pretty much a day or two. And he said, no, Brian, you're going to be on the air filled with energy tomorrow. And you know what? I am. How do you guys think? I think I am filled with energy. I lost a little bit of my voice because I was yelling so much last night, but I am filled with energy as if I'd gotten a full night's sleep because of hormone replacement pellet therapy. So my hormones are restored to their normal levels where they were when I was in my mid-20s. Call Dr. Mitch Matez. Okay, talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy. Totally free consultation with the doctor for Steve Kane listeners. 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. And online, hormonetherapy.boca-raton.com. We'll be right back after this.
Right now, the U.S. is in the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic. In South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours, either from heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine cabinet. In fact, Mom and Dad's medicine cabinet is frequently the gateway to the horrors of hardcore addiction down the road. Drug problems left unattended.
Yeah, I use Find. I have all that. I've used that. I've used that Find My Phone and stuff many times.
You need expert professional help, and if your family is
888-GO-KANE-1 465-2631.
that help is available. Call
Well, thanks for watching, Lauren.
At the Edge Recovery, 561 area code 523-4325. This is his personal cell phone, 561-523-4325.
Sometimes I've used it just in the house before. One time I couldn't find my iPad. I did it, and I left it here in the studio. Yeah.
The Edge Recovery offers every
wow.
option from
That's all. Yeah, Rob. I know that. Find My iPad, Find My Phone. It's spectacular. That's why I have all Apple products. You know, it works on my laptop and everything.
But no matter what your situation is, the Edge Recovery has options for you. Call Sal at the Edge Recovery. Do it today. 561 area code 523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone. 561-523-4325.
People put off the medical care they need for a lot of reasons. My deductible is too high. I don't have insurance. My schedule is too hectic. I just can't afford it. The time.
Oh man. 888-465-2631. That's the number.
Of Plantation, where they guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. PSA only $34. Full cholesterol lipid panel $28. Complete thyroid panel $49. Diabetic A1C test only $27. No doctor's order or prescription needed. All testing is always anonymous and confidential. In and out in 15 minutes or less. Most results.
Oh my gosh, I have an old iPad that's 7 years old. I need a new iPad. This would be Steve. Hello? That was Steve. Steve and I have been playing phone tag for an hour.
Drug testing, you name it. Any lab test now at Plantation probably test.
Hello?
Any lab test now at Plantation is located at
Hello?
8367 West Sunrise Boulevard in the Jacaranda
Hello?
Plaza on the corner of University Drive.
Steve butt dialed me. We've been playing phone tag for an hour now. He butt dialed me.
954-916-1072. 954-916-1072. Online, labtestingplantation.com. Take control of your health with any lab test now of Plantation. 954-916-1072.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Oh, man. Yes. Welcome back, everyone. Brian Craig here with you. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Talking about the Trump rally last night. Yeah, I live streamed on YouTube. And I'll tell you what I did, just to give some advice to try something for others attending future Trump rallies. They had a Wi-Fi at the arena, and I connected to the Wi-Fi when I got there because I wanted the live stream, and I thought, well, this is the way to go. you know, because so many people are going to be pulling off the cell towers. And I was having a lot of difficulty live streaming. I had several false starts. And I said, you know, and it was before the Trump came out. I was like, oh, man, I want to live stream this. I turned off the Wi-Fi on my phone and just used the cell signal. And I think I had a pretty darn good live feed using the cell signal. So if any of you are looking to live stream at future rallies, try it that way. If you have a difficult time, get off the Wi-Fi if you're using it and use your cell phone, because it went very well. And I know a lot of people live stream at these events. I think it's important for anyone who can to live stream at Trump events. Now, President Trump, with this disgusting protest the media did through the whole event, he told what I thought was a fascinating story about the fake news of his heart attack that the media were promoting. And this one really, and I know you guys watching at home heard this because it was part of the president's speech last night. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. He talked in great detail about, he went in for his checkup, he came back, he said when he had gotten to the White House, staffers and Secret Service were, are you okay, Mr. President? Are you okay, sir? He's like, what's going on? What's going on? And you know, and Melania, you know, they said you've had a heart attack. And he was like, what? And he gave such a textbook example of how the media lies. And he told the whole story last night, President Trump. He says, you know, when I go somewhere, it's not just me in a car. He says, I've got all these vehicles that go with me, motorcycles, cars, SUVs, and a bus that's filled with the press. And he pointed at the press. He said when he went to Walter Reed for that checkup, the press went with him. They saw him get out of the car and go in. And the press saw when he left a short time later. And the press were there watching him get into his car to drive back to the White House. And they saw him get out of the car at the White House. So obviously, you know, if you go to the hospital, you've had a heart attack, you don't walk out a short time later. And he said, even though and he said them, and he pointed to them. He said, even though they saw me walk out a short time later and then get back at the White House a short time later and saw me walking about and everything, they still went on the air and said that he speculated that he had had a heart attack. When they were there, they went with him and they went back with him and they saw him. And they still were reporting that he had had a heart attack. And they've done segments on it. And I mean, and you know what? When he points that out, they don't even feel guilty about it. And, you know, I was talking about in the last hour that my biggest takeaway from the rally was how calm and chill President Trump was. You know, when he came out from backstage and he walked on that zigzag walkway to the stage, and after the speech when he walked back, he was so relaxed and just chill and was walking so slow. And what I was talking about in the last hour is you could tell that he doesn't have a worry in the world, that all this fake news and Democrat impeachment, he's not worried about it. He knows it's going nowhere. And you put that together with this disgusting story about the press and the heart attack fake news. And really, I think that there should be an organized boycott of the mainstream media. I really do. And I know a lot of people say, well, how do you know what's going on? Internet. That's the main source of news right now. The mainstream media don't deserve your viewership. They're no longer the media. They're not even, when people say they're like a tabloid journalism, the two top tabloid news outlets are TMZ with Harvey Levin, which I have a lot of respect for. I love TMZ, and the National Enquirer. The National Enquirer and TMZ have standards. They verify sources. They use multiple sources. They use primary sources. They don't go... The National Enquirer and TMZ have much stricter journalistic standards, much higher journalistic standards than the mainstream media. And I'm not boycott organizing type of person. But what the media are doing to this country, that fake news story, I didn't realize they had gone with him. He said they went with him to Walter Reed and returned on a bus. He says the press bus is always parked at the White House. They go everywhere I go, he says. And they saw him go in and out. And they still were promoting that fake news story. And they don't even feel guilty about it. In fact, they're angry at him for daring to challenge them. You know, and when I saw those reporters with their protest of him during his speech last night, that's when I said to myself, you know, we should turn it off. We should turn it off. Now, in the profession that I'm in, I have to monitor what goes on other media outlets. I don't think I could be properly prepared to do a talk show unless I'm monitor and know what's going on elsewhere. But you know what? You don't have to. You do not have to. And, you know, I don't know how effective that would be if Trump people stopped 100% in an organized protest watching the mainstream media. It would have to have a major impact on their numbers. It would have to. They would have to feel it. I don't know if that would make them change what they're doing, but they are not trustworthy. They are frauds. They are liars. Fake news mean they're no longer news at all. They do not fit the definition of what news is. And it was so irresponsible for them what they did with that heart attack fake news story. And President Trump told a very long story about it. That was in the speech last night. I'm sure you saw it. That was really upsetting to me. Yeah, very upsetting to me. You know, it really was that they would knowingly do that. And they're denying it now. They're denying it. And I saw this on Twitter. I'll play this. I didn't do this. Somebody put a montage together. Listen.
Dr. Santagupta, what is the new report? Heart disease, the status of his heart disease, heart attack, heart disease, things are with his heart disease, blood vessels that lead to the heart attack or other heart disease.
Yeah, I got that off Newsbusters this morning. Little montage someone put together from CNN when they were there with him and they saw him leave a short time later, fit as a fiddle. And they still went with all of that fake discussion days later, because Stelzer's on the weekend with Gupta after all this. That's disgusting. You can't trust them anymore. You just can't. You can't. You cannot trust them anymore. They are out to destroy him in this country, and they'll only be happy when they get one of their chosen people back in the White House. That's pretty upsetting. I know it's upsetting. Oh, man. Yeah, you know, so here I am, got about 3.5 hours sleep last night, and I'm well rested and filled with energy. And I'm filled with energy because of Dr. Matez and hormone replacement pellet therapy. And I'm well rested because I slept well with my head on my pillow. That my pillow is amazing. No tossing, no turning. I don't know what it is about the patented fill that Mike Lindell discovered for the My Pillows, but there's something about the My Pillow where your head and neck fit in it so perfectly, there's no tossing and turning. And, you know, that's what really keeps you from getting a good night's sleep is when you're tossing and turning. You know, when you're using these regular pillows, you toss and turn. It's like having sleep apnea. You guys familiar with sleep apnea? Sleep apnea is when people are waking up all night because they're having breathing issues. And the sleep apnea machine you wake up. That disturbed sleep from tossing and turning stops you from getting a restful night's sleep. And the My Pillow stops that tossing and turning, so you sleep the night through. And here we are, Black Friday. Just a little more than a day away because Thanksgiving's tomorrow. There is no better gift than the gift of a My Pillow. Go to mypillow.com, click the radio listener specials, and take advantage of that incredible buy one My Pillow, get one for free, the My Pillow BOGO offer. When you use the promo code KANE at checkout. That's KANE. KANE at checkout. Makes a great gift for anyone on your gift-giving list. Use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at mypillow.com. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. And when you order by phone, also use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, when you're on the phone with the phone person as well. And you'll be very glad you did. And whoever you give that pillow to for Christmas will be very, very happy. It'll be a great gift. And again, those of you that have corporate parties at your work, and you have Secret Santas or whatever you do at your work, My Pillow, great gift to give at your work Christmas parties. I promise you, okay? All right, hey, listen, we're going to take our break. When we get back, there's so much more to talk about, too. And I want to hear from more people who were at the rally. Those of you that were at the rally, I want to hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts on the rally. I want to hear your experience at the rally, how you felt at the rally, your takeaways from the rally, and much more. I'm Brian Craig. This is The Steve Kane Show.
This is Steve Kane with an exciting announcement from Tavolino's. Tavolino's is now open for brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 2:45. A gourmet menu including dishes like Nana's breakfast sandwich, candied bacon with avocado and aged cheddar cheese, and vine raven tomatoes will make your mouth water. Or how about the steak and eggs Benedict, filet mignon poached on an organic egg, toasted with English muffin, peppercorn sauce, hollandaise, and roasted potatoes will make your mouth water. Or try Delanote's chicken and waffles, crispy buttermilk chicken aged with cheddar cheese, Brussels sprouts, and candied bacon. It is a taste delight you will enjoy every weekend at Tavolino's. To make reservations, call Tavolino's for either the Saturday or Sunday brunch, 954-509-0046. You're going to love this restaurant, and tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all, and our skin bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this for you than Dr. Jose Mendez. Dr. Mendez is a board-certified dermatologist, and when it comes to caring for your skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible and skin cancer-free, you want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual skin cancer exam is covered by Medicare. Dr. Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve Kane recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve is good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah. She takes extra good care of Steve Kane listeners and will get you an appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with Attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, Brian Craig back with you. It is Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I was at the Trump rally in Sunrise, Florida last night talking about my thoughts, my observations, which were many. I ran into Laura Loomer, the legendary Laura Loomer, last night. I just actually bumped into Laura, and, you know, she's running for Congress, and I ran into one of my sisters last night, which is a story in itself, which I'm not going to go through the whole story, but I'll just tell you, I ran into a sister of mine who's 23 years old that I've never met before. I met my 23-year-old sister for the very first time last night at this Trump rally, and I've never met her before. And we were friends on Facebook, and we've messaged each other a couple of times on Facebook. We had never met before, and obviously we have different mothers and the same father. And when I first got to the rally, I took a couple pictures of myself and posted them on my Facebook page. And she had written in the comments, and you might have seen these. And because there are a lot of comments on the picture, and I was going through the comments, reading your comments and liking them, and I saw my sister said, "I'm here too." And we've never met ever, and I didn't know if we would ever meet. So I messaged her on Facebook. I gave her my phone number. I said, "Text me and let's meet." So I met my 23-year-old sister for the very first time, which was odd and strange and uncomfortable. It was a good thing, though. How often does something crazy like that happen? So I'm talking to my sister, and I see Laura Loomer is walking our way, and I said, "That's Laura Loomer." I was like, and I told her, I said, I don't know if she's going to talk to me because she sent me a text message 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I never texted her back. And Laura Loomer had sent me a text right before we went away on the cruise a couple weeks ago, and I was busy that week, so busy getting ready for the cruise. I never texted Laura back, and I told my sister, I said, she texted me 2 or 3 weeks ago. I never texted her back, so she might be pissed off. She might not talk to me. So Laura Loomer, she walks up to me and says, "Hey, Brian, why didn't you text me back?" First thing. So I took a picture with Laura Loomer, and I'll tell you, she looks great, and she's running for Congress here in Florida. And you know what? I need to check. I thought about this. I talked to Laura for a few minutes. I wonder if she's running in Lois Frankel's district, which is Palm Beach County. I wonder if that district covers Mar-a-Lago. But anyway, Laura Loomer has raised more money than her Democrat opponent. And I haven't followed polls and everything in that area. It's a Democrat county, Palm Beach, where she's running. And Lois Frankel is one of the leaders of the Palm Beach County Democrat Party machine. She's been in Congress a while. She's been in government there for many, many years. So she's got a machine thing going on here. But I don't think Lois Frankel and the Democrats are taking Laura Loomer as a serious candidate. And I think that's their mistake. Like that Democrat that was running against the commie bartender, AOC, in New York. He wouldn't debate her, and he discounted her, didn't take her as a serious candidate, and he got whipped, didn't he, by AOC. And I think we can have a similar effect with Laura Loomer. I think Laura Loomer's chances of winning are very, very, very good. I don't have any polling data or anything like that, okay? But I do think it does cover Mar-a-Lago. I do think so, but I'm not sure about that. I want to look into that. And we'll have Laura on the show. I told her let's have her on after the first of the year. Let's have her on in January. So we're going to have Laura on the show in January. But I think she's got a damn good chance of winning. And I'm not saying that just because I support her and I'm friends with her and all of that stuff. I really think she's got a chance because they're not taking her as a serious candidate. And when someone comes into a race arrogant and entitled, they lose all the time. They lose all the time. Hillary Clinton lost to Barack Obama because the Clintons didn't consider Barack Obama a serious candidate, and they got whipped by Obama in 2008 because of that. This guy with AOC I told you about. So there's many examples of arrogant, entitled Democrats losing elections because they don't take their opponent as a serious candidate, and they lose all the time. The Hillary Obama is a prime example. So Loomer's got a great chance to win, and that would be amazing. Could you imagine if Laura Loomer was a sitting member of the House of Representatives, what that would be like? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. It would be insane. She'd be one of the biggest newsmakers in Washington, D.C., and we'd love it. Good morning. Hey, how are you doing? Attorney Barry Siegel. We were just talking about you earlier. Tuesday next week, you're having your Medicaid planning and revocable living trust workshops back in Boca, right there off of Glades Road where your past workshops have been. How you doing, Barry?
I'm doing great. just getting ready for the holiday, and I wish you and Steve and everyone out there a wonderful holiday. Enjoy time with your friends and family, and let's all be grateful for all the great things we have going on in our lives.
Yeah, yeah, and we were talking yesterday, Barry. This time of year, all the big family holidays, people you only see once a year or every 5 years. And this is when you really got to say to yourself, you know what? I need to look into estate planning, or if you have a revocable living trust already, I need to think about updating my trust, because you're going to find at these family get-togethers, there are people that are all grown up now and married and have kids. The last time you saw them, they were, in high school or something. There's going to be people you see that are divorced. There's going to be, sadly, people you don't see because they're no longer with us. Life changes, families change. And if your revocable living trust is 3 years of age or older, you need to have it reviewed. And Attorney Barry Siegel will review your trust at no charge. Now, this workshop next week, Barry, is in Boca. You're back in Boca. The Medicaid planning and the revocable living trust planning workshops, these are completely free. But people can just call your office just to let you know that they're coming, so you know how much you need so far as seating goes and refreshments and things like that, right?
Exactly. So if you would like to
Steve Kane
attend
Show.
either the 10 a.m. Medicaid workshop or the 2 p.m. Living Trust and Estate Planning workshop, please call our office so that they will know and make sure we have everybody.
Yeah.
You can call our office, and they'd be happy to schedule you.
Absolutely, and I've attended several of Barry's workshops, and every time I go, I learn new things. And a great opportunity. The workshops are completely free. You get an opportunity to ask questions of the attorney for free at the event. So there's a good benefit to that. And I'll tell you, there's one thing you do, Barry, which I think is phenomenal for clients. You do something that a lot of attorneys don't do. After someone is working with you and everything, you don't charge for phone calls. And that is so rare in the legal profession. Attorneys love phone calls. I know my HOA attorney charges like $125 or $150 for every time he takes someone's phone call. He can make a living just taking phone calls. And when people have a revocable living trust with you, you don't charge them for phone calls. And you have a good reason for that, which I thought was interesting.
Well, the thing is, setting up the trust and then funding the trust, it's a process. And a lot of times clients will have questions, might have to do with funding or just clarification on something. And if they know they're going to get one of those bills that comes in for 0.1 or 0.2 hours, many people just will decide not to make that call and then not get the information that they really do need. So our goal is to make sure that people have an estate plan that works. And if they don't get that information that they need, or, clarify something, then they may not fall through on what they need to do, and we want to do. So
that's very unusual. I learned that attorneys don't do that the hard way. I had something going on. I called the attorney a few times, and I was like so impressed that I could get him right on the phone. It was amazing. And then I didn't realize that every time I called, I was getting charged for it. I don't know if it was 0.25 hour bill every time I called, and I was like, oh my goodness. And when I hear you talk that you don't do that, that's absolutely amazing, because you care about what you do for your clients, and you're right on the money. Someone may not call to ask a question because they're afraid of that bill, and then when their family is going through the trust, something's not updated because they were afraid to make that call, and that's why Barry doesn't charge. Listen, give Attorney Barry Siegel's office a call to let them know you're attending the workshop. It's completely free. They just need to know how many people are coming. 855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782. All right, Barry, take care. We'll talk next week.
All right. Have a great holiday.
All right, take care. All right, back to the phones. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Scott. I saw you over there, and I had a great time as well.
Oh, you were at the rally?
Yes.
Were you the guy that I was talking to in the men's room?
Very polite, and there were guys walking around trying to pick up trash, but there wasn't anything for them to pick up.
Hey, by the way, you weren't the guy I was talking to in the men's room, were you? Those couple of guys? Oh, okay.
Balcony, and I yelled across. I had a blue shirt, and I said, "Smile, Brian."
Oh, yeah. I remember you. Yeah, I remember you. Okay. These guys that came up to me in the men's room right as I was waiting to use the... Luckily, they came up to me before I was at the urinal. I appreciate that. It's a strange place to meet men is in the men's room, I got to tell you. But it was a Republican rally, so we knew we were safe. Did you note I was talking...
If you meet women there.
Yeah, that's... Well, hey, these days, you never know. Never know. We don't want to put gender on bathrooms. Did you notice what I noticed, though, about how chill and relaxed the president was when he came in and when he left? Like he didn't have a worry in the world?
Yeah, he looked like he had a lot of confidence.
Not a worry in the world. All this business going on with Pizza the Hut and Adler and Schiff, he knows it's going nowhere. He doesn't... And so many people are worked up because the news is getting you worked up, you know, to get you hooked on the news and try to make you worry that there's some type of... If President Trump thought he was going to be impeached, I don't think he would come in that calm and chill and relaxed.
No, I agree.
Did you see those fembot women I was talking about? Security?
Others, so I kind of kept my eyes focused.
Well, I was focused too, but you didn't see the female security team? Oh.
No, I was just checking out the crowd.
I know, the crowd was amazing. All right, hey, appreciate the call. It was good to see you there last night. All right, take care. Oh, man, what a rally. It really was a great rally. Oh, let me get to some... This was a pretty funny moment in the rally. I think I only have one sound. I have one soundbite of the rally. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. Yeah, I have one soundbite of the rally. Someone told me, by the way, that they heard me... someone told me they heard me on Fox. And because I was live streaming on YouTube, and this clip I'm going to play is not the clip of me. It's a clip right before me. But President Trump was talking last night about Hunter Biden, who was thrown. He said he was thrown out of the Navy for reasons that I won't mention. And I yelled out drugs. At the top of my lungs, I yelled out drugs. If you were watching on my live stream on YouTube, you heard it was really loud, right? Because I yelled it out. And a couple people told me that they heard me yell drugs on Fox because Fox was on a delay, and they heard me yell drugs on Fox. But anyway, right before that, the president had an exchange with a guy that was right in front of the stage, and I thought this was pretty clever. Hold on, let me cue this one up here. Where is it? Where is it? Let's see here. Okay, here it is. This is the president. Listen.
Absolutely nothing about energy. What business are you in, sir? The mailbox business? Oh, mailbox. Whoa, that's. You know Hunter Biden?
Do you know Hunter Biden to the bail bondsman? Oh, my goodness. That's pretty funny. And it's so funny that he thought about it just like that. Isn't that hilarious? I know, that's absolutely amazing. All right, listen, we'll take a quick break. When we get back, there's more to share. I'm Brian. This is The Steve Kane Show. Don't go anywhere.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices.
Be right back, guys.
Absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly
That's so
Mike
funny.
at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price.
I don't know what's going on with Steve because we've been playing phone tag for an hour and a half. He calls me during the segments, and I've been calling him during the breaks, and he's not answering. And then he'll call me during the segment when I can't answer.
I Will Advisors is
I might have downed them all. Let me.
unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating
I know, that's
Medicare
hilarious.
beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right
Oh, you heard it
choice
on Right
for
Side
you.
Broadcast? Yeah, I yelled out drugs as loud as I could.
At 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25%?
Steve has his ringer off. He's missing my calls, and I'm missing his. So I don't know if I'm flying solo today or
When you
not.
have diabetes can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before
See,
they
this is me
begin.
with Laura
Oftentimes,
last night.
amputation due to diabetes
That's a good picture with
is
Loomer. Don't you guys think?
And one of the preventable measures that is most
pic.
effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THE.
Yeah, it's a good picture.
SOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Oh my goodness. Steve and I have been playing phone tag for 90 minutes. He calls me during the segments. I've been calling him during the breaks, and we keep missing each other. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But, yeah. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Talking about the Trump rally last night. I was at the Trump rally, and I was talking at the beginning at 6. I just recap a little bit, then I get into some of the newer stuff I haven't brought up yet. But there's a couple things I want to recap about the rally last night. And the main thing about that rally, other than how relaxed and worried-free the president was, the next thing was how diverse racially, national background, religion, how diverse this Republican rally was last night. I mean, I've been to so many Republican events. I have never seen so many black people at a Republican event. You know, it used to be before the Trump days of the Republican Party, and you would go to a Republican event, okay? You would see a couple of black people, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I can't even put a number on it. And it's absolutely amazing. And the Democrats have lost their monopoly on the black vote. They've lost it. And they're losing more and more every day. You know? I'm telling you, more and more every day. And not only, I mean, I couldn't believe how many black people are at this Trump rally. I've never seen anything like it at any Republican event I have ever been at, ever. And also what I found with the black supporters of Trump at the rally, these are some of the most passionate supporters. They've got the shirts on, they got all the hats on, they got all the, everything you can imagine. And then the second thing, I know I talked about this in the first hour, but it's so important, I want to recap it. How many Hispanic people were there? And I want to make a big point of this, because if this comes up, a lot of, that's Miami, they're Cubans. Like, the Cubans don't matter. They're just Cubans. First off, it was not in Miami, okay? And number two, not every Hispanic in Florida is Cuban. And you can tell a lot, what Latin people like to do is have the flag of their country somewhere on display. Sometimes it's on the sleeve of their shirt. Sometimes it's a charm on a necklace. Sometimes it's a tattoo. Sometimes it's the wallpaper on their phone. And I had On my left, I had a Hispanic woman who was speaking Spanish on the phone to her husband. I had a Hispanic woman on my right speaking Spanish to people, and they were not Cuban. And I know they were not Cuban because they had their flags, okay? One of them was Puerto Rican. The other one, I'm not sure. I think maybe Venezuelan. And the other one was, I don't know if it was Dominican. I don't know. But they were not Cuban. And when the chant started, a lot of Hispanics, a lot. And when the Build the Wall chant started, okay, the Hispanics, one on my left, one on my right, not Cuban Hispanics. Not that that doesn't matter. I know the left. I just don't want people, this is, the Hispanics were cheering and chanting, build the wall too, okay? Just like everybody else was. And maybe even with a little more passion. I saw gays for Trump. I saw, a lot of Jews, which is amazing. Because, in the old days at Republican rallies, you say, how do you know they're Jews? Well, they've got yarmulkes on, okay? That's how I know. In the old days, you didn't see this. There were not, here in South Florida, there were not a lot of Jewish Republicans. Not a lot. And I saw so many Jews last night. Jews, blacks, gays, Latinos, Latinas. I mean, it's amazing. And this other observation I made, and this is something that's very, very important. Donald Trump has made the Republican Party the party of diversity. But the seating arrangement, people just sat where they could get a seat, okay? There's no assigned seating. It's festival seating. You just sat wherever you could get a seat. And the crowd seating arrangement was as integrated as you could imagine. It was like Martin Luther King's dream. Everything was so integrated and diverse in the seating arrangements. And at a Democrat event, it's not that way. At Democrat events, if they could put together a rally anymore, but if you go to the convention, when the Democrats have their convention, they'll have a full arena then, okay, because the delegates and everything. Look at how you don't have an integrated seating arrangement at Democrat events because they bust them in. These are activists. So over here you'll have, gays for whatever Democrat. Over here you'll have African Americans for, against police brutality. Over here you'll have gays for Hillary or whoever, gays for Liz Warren. The Democrats segregate their seating, and there's actually sections in Democrat events that are black sections, white sections, gay sections, Jewish sections. And there's no integration. It's like, well, the Democrats are the party of segregation. All the segregationists were Democrats. So they're still doing that. So the seating at Democrat events is racially, ethnically, and religiously and sexuality segregated into sections. And the Trump rally, so many minorities, people lived it, totally diverse in the seating. You would never see that at a Democrat event like that. And I thought that was absolutely a very interesting takeaway, And, see, the Democrats, they want people to say, look, we've got blacks, we got gays. So they make sure that they segregate the seating in sections. This is the gay section, the black section, the Asian section. It doesn't work that way at these Trump rallies. And it is diversity that I don't think we've seen in politics. I don't think we've seen this much diversity in politics as we see under Trump. He may have the most diverse, and I mean everything, sexuality, race, religion, everything. President Trump may have the most diverse following of any president in history. I'm telling you, more than Kennedy or any of them, and it's real. I didn't see any buses of people being bussed in by activists to fill seats at a Republican event. It wasn't that way. You've heard this, like you go to a Democrat event, bus pulls up, it's the Black Lives Matter bus. Oh, it's the Occupy Wall Street bus. That's how they do it. These people drove by themselves. I didn't see one bus that was bussed in by any organization of people. It's absolutely amazing. The Democrats have lost the black vote. They're losing more and more of it each and every day. And they're losing the gays, too. They're losing the gays. The Democrat Party needs to make some changes. Now, in the next hour, well, we don't want them to make changes because we want them to fail. We don't want the Democrats to be successful. But if they want to survive as a legitimate political party, they are going to have to make some changes, which I don't think they'll make because they really don't. These things I'm telling you about, they don't even realize that these are problems that they're having. They have no idea that any of these things are even problems. All right, listen, third and final hour coming up next. Oh, boy, so much to talk about. Mayor Pete got himself in some hot water with the blacks. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. Mayor Pete's a train wreck. He's a complete train wreck. 1-888-GO-KANE-1, that's our number. Anyone who attended the rally, I'd love to hear from you. If you were at the rally last night, give me a call and share your thoughts, your experiences, your feelings, your takeaways, your observations. 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
People put off the medical care they need for a lot of reasons. My deductible is too high. I don't have insurance. My schedule is too hectic. I just can't afford it. The time for excuses is over.
Okay.
Thanks to Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, where they guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. PSA, only $34. Full cholesterol lipid panel, $28. Complete thyroid panel, $49. Diabetic A1C test, only $27. No doctor's order or prescription needed. All testing is always anonymous and confidential. In and out in 15 minutes or less. Most results in 24 to 48 hours. Make sure to ask about their allergy testing, which includes micronutrient and environmental allergens.
Yeah, my sister that I met for the first time, she drove there from Fort Myers on the Gulf Coast just to go to the rally.
Probably test for it. Any Lab Test Now of Plantation is located at 8367 West Sunrise Boulevard in the Jacaranda Plaza on the corner of University Drive and Sunrise Boulevard in Plantation. Give them a call, 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072. Online, labtestingplantation.com. Take control of your health with Any Lab Test Now of Plantation. 954-916-1072.
For the best wings in this town, it's Wings Plus. Wings that are first grilled and then fried to make them extra crispy, served with blue cheese and celery. Try the Jamaican jerk, the lemon pepper wings, the honey mustard wings, the garlic wings, and 15 other varieties. That's Wings Plus, located at 9880 Sample Road in Coral Springs, with a politically elite meat.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of
Steve
work
Kane
done,
Show.
and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of
Okay,
the
hold on.
cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and
Unreal.
overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. To call
Steve
the
Kane Show.
toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1.
All right, third and final hour has begun. 3 minutes after 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. Oh, boy. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. We're talking about this incredible rally last night. I've been sharing my thoughts, my observations, my experiences. I was at the rally last night. Absolutely amazing. So glad I went. Let's take some calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Michael from Boca.
Hey, Michael in Boca. How are you?
Yeah, I was there. Funny thing is, I saw a little bit of your YouTube this morning before I went to work. I'm actually on your video from a distance, dead straight in front of you on the floor.
Oh, okay.
On catwalk.
Oh, great.
Two observations. I'd like to get your opinion. We were both at the rally 3 years ago in Boca.
Yeah.
It was outside, and that was an awesome rally also. But maybe the venue was just different, but it seemed like even last night was even more passionate. I'm talking about the crowd. Was even more, in a good way, rowdy. Just loud, passionate. Did you feel that? Or?
Well, and the rally that you're talking about in Boca during the campaign was outside on a hot day with no shelter. I think by the time the president got there, the candidate got there at that rally, we were hot and tired and packed in. There were no chairs, no sodas, nothing. You know what I mean? So, in fact, that rally is why I was not on the floor last night, because I didn't want to stand up for 5 or 6 hours without being able to sit. So that's why I sat up in the chairs. It's rough. That the people that needed medical attention were because that they had been standing. And when you're in that crowd standing, you're packed in, and it's hot. And I was sitting in a nice cushioned, padded seat with calm, cool air conditioning that was the perfect temperature. But it was when they had 2 medical problems when the president was speaking, and one was an older guy. He was about to collapse, and he was right at the front. Did you see this? And I saw something I've never seen before. It was amazing. So there were a lot of these firefighters for Trump. I'm sure you saw them. They had the fire hats on. And an older gentleman, he was about to collapse, and he was right in front of the podium. And the president said, "Doctor, doctor." And he was so far in, the medical people couldn't get to him. And these firefighters for Trump, they were there by the stage. They walked up, they picked him up and carried him right back and put him on a stretcher. And they did some first responding right there on the scene, and it was pretty amazing to watch.
Yeah, I have another observation I would like to get your opinion real quick. At events like this, whether it's the President Trump or anybody else, I noticed at about 5 o'clock last night, the signals on not just my phone, but people around me started really dying. Like, couldn't do social media or nothing.
Well, that may be on your cell provider. I was live streaming using my cell and not the Wi-Fi in the place, and I had a great signal on my cell phone. I'm Verizon. Maybe what's your cell? Maybe you're just on a popular provider there, and everyone was pulling off the tower for that company. Yeah. So what was your biggest takeaway? I mean, I was talking earlier. My biggest takeaway was when he walked out and when he left at the end, how calm and chill he was and how slow he was. You could tell physically that the president didn't have a worry in the world. This impeachment, he's not even concerned about it. You could tell.
No, from where I was by the catwalk, I was literally within 12 feet of him. And you're right. I call it swagger. He was calm. He owned it.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was totally chill. He was chill,
but you're right. I want to echo what you said. The diversity in that crowd was awesome. It was amazing.
Blew my mind. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I know there's blacks for Trump and gays for Trump, but I didn't realize how big these movements have become. I've never seen anything like it. Never.
I gotta hang up. I'm gonna hang up because I'm losing my cell here.
You need a new provider. Your cell doesn't seem.
Crazy awesome. I watch it every morning.
Well, thank you so much.
And everybody else does too.
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks so much. All right, PJ. Hey, PJ. How you doing, PJ?
Fine, PG. You know, I don't know if you know, but I was first in line. I have the video up.
I saw that.
Line from early morning until they let us in at 2 o'clock.
But even though you were first in line, and I got there about 3:30, quarter to 4, we were only 20 feet apart. That was really began, but you were first in line.
Ultimately, no. Here's what happened. I was standing. I mean, I was on my feet from before 7 o'clock this morning until then they let us in. And then I was right on the floor, like 30 feet. I mean, I had the perfect spot. I was 30 feet away from where the president.
Yeah, I saw you. Yeah,
Yeah, but what happened is my legs started. You know, I would have been definitely. They would have had to call the medics on me. But the bad part was, it would have. My legs were in such bad shape at that point. They would have called.
Well, I told you. When you're down, when you're down there on the floor, you're standing. You can't sit. You're packed in, so it's hotter. The seats in that arena are cushioned and comfortable. And the air conditioning was set at the, President Trump talked about this in the campaign rally days about how the temperature, the thermostat wasn't set right, so it was too hot when you got the crowds in there, and the whole place was filled to the rafters. I mean, it was filled all the way up into those nosebleed seats, and the room temperature was perfect throughout the whole rally, even with everybody in there in my seat. It was. Now I noticed with you, PJ, it looked like people in your section there, because you were not too, I was watching, had a bit of a confrontation with this standing woman.
I don't know what her story was. But here's what happened. I mean, I didn't even notice her, but as soon as Trump came out, you know, like how people stand up and cheer, and then after a while they sit down. Well, she kept standing, and people said, "Oh, could you sit down?" But crowded movie theater, somebody.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean.
Well, let me tell you what I observed, and you can tell me what happened, because I saw something, okay? Now, I found that at the rally, the MAGA crowd are very polite, and everybody sat down. People stand up at a moment, then they sit down so they don't obstruct anyone's view. And you had this lady who was with her friend who wouldn't sit down, and I could see that everybody in your area was asking her to sit down, and she was getting nasty. And she was really getting nasty, and eventually she left, and I wasn't so sure she left on her own. I think she might have been forced to leave.
No, what happened was, here's what happened. I was actually getting scared that there would be a big fight.
Yeah.
Because there was a guy 2 seats away from me. Well, she wasn't right in front of me, so I was okay, but like about 3 seats away from me, this guy says, "I don't care if she's a woman, man. I'm gonna get into it with her." I'm going, oh, and he was like one of those. Oh, so it's diverse. So it was a Spanish guy, you know.
Yeah. Well, and I saw someone over there in front of you signaling to security to come tell her to sit down, and she was getting really nasty. And then, so did they tell her to leave, or did she leave on her own?
No, what happened was the guy that went was the bald guy. He was shaved-headed guy. He was like a biker. So I was thinking, oh, if anybody's going to get in a fight with her, something, this is like a biker type.
Yeah.
You know, so he got up, and I thought, uh-oh, he's going to get up, and he's going to, oh, my God. I was going, please, you know, because right in the middle of the Trump.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a protest. So anyway, he went and got security, so the woman wasn't really, at first it wasn't really a regular security woman. It was just a woman telling people, you know, go to this seat, go to that seat. So she says, "Oh, ma'am, could you please sit down?" And, you know, out of respect.
I saw this. Yeah.
She just didn't even pay attention.
No, she just ignored her, and she had this nasty look on her face. I saw that.
Oh, yeah, she was like, no. What happened is when they finally got some security, she started leaving, but she gave everybody behind her the finger.
I saw that. Yes, and I'll tell you, I watched that woman, and I saw her give you guys the middle finger, you know. And when I saw her reaction when she was removed, I think she might have been a Democrat protester who was protesting and disturbing in a different way by trying to upset Trump supporters. I think she was trying to work you guys up. I'm not convinced she was a Trump person because she was so rude. And that middle finger at the what kind of Trump person would give the middle finger to other MAGA people? It didn't make sense. I think she was. But then I saw there was a woman that I think might have been with her came up to you, and I saw you exchanging words with her friend. What was that?
No, that wasn't actually her friend.
Oh,
because that woman was trying to also, while the woman was standing, she was saying, "Hey, can you be reasonable?"
Oh, yeah.
At least,
yeah.
Started cursing at her.
Oh my God! See, come on. Well, what do you think? You think she? Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
So she got mad. But then what happened is but you haven't heard all of it. So then they got the woman that was standing to go to another section to go somewhere else. You know,
yeah,
repeating her antics again, and they were getting pissed at her all over again. Finally, they ended up just throwing her out. But the woman the woman next to her, what happened was she came back. You know, I was thinking, good. I just want to watch the Trump thing.
Yeah.
Involved. I don't care. She's gone. That's it. It's over. But the woman that came back, she went and talked to security after they took her out. I guess kind of venue. The woman for cursing at her. So she comes back and she goes, I just want to watch the Trump rally. I'm done with it. So she's coming back and she's going through a whole litany of how angry she was at that.
Oh, you wanted her to shut up so you could hear her, yeah.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to hear it. I want her to watch Trump.
Exactly.
All I did was I just shrugged my shoulders and said, some people are just plain nuts. And then she got real angry at me for.
What are you, her husband? Well, you're not her husband. So, that first lady, though, that gave you guys the finger, do you think she might have, the lady that gave you the finger, you and your group, the middle finger, that was obstructing the view, do you really think she was a Trump person or a Democrat?
No, I think, no, believe me, I was right near her. It was mental health problem.
So a Democrat, yeah.
Say this. The one, I was there at the same exact location in 2016. So back then they didn't fill the rafters. This time they did.
Yeah.
The guy next to me, I says, yeah, there was one section of the rafters that weren't full. It was like behind Trump. I says, yeah, all the rafters are full except for that crappy section up there. This is before Trump came on. But then after a little while, that section, then I nudged the guy and said, hey, look, the crappy section's even still.
Well, I'll tell you, listen to this. Now, when the rally, you and I got in my seat about 3:30, 3:45. And, this arena is made for hockey. It's made for the Florida Panthers hockey team. And they have these nosebleed seats that are up in the rafters. And when I first got there, they had curtains drawn covering up all of those nosebleed rafter seats. And I was surprised to see that. And I was thinking for a couple of hours, oh, that's what the media, they're going to say he didn't sell it out because of this. And boom, it just all of a sudden the curtains were gone and those nosebleed rafter seats were filling up. And it was, I couldn't believe it. I mean, the worst obstructed view and the rafters behind Trump were filled. And I have been in that arena dozens of times over the years for every kind of event you can imagine, even concerts. I have never, ever, ever seen it filled, all the rafters like that. I've been there for hockey, everything. I've never seen it that filled, ever.
By the way, here's the big difference between the 2016 rally and this one. I think it'd be broke. In 2016, the mood was hope. Last night, absolutely, it was a big celebration. One big celebration. So
yeah. Now, it is. And what was your biggest takeaway from the night? Observing it as opposed to just watching a speech on TV.
Well, yeah, as you mentioned, I mean, the big thing for me was, I saw Trump come on. I'm going, oh my God, this guy's he just calm.
Yeah, I couldn't believe.
Throwing the hat to the people. He was throwing the hat.
I was shocked.
No problem.
Yeah, and afterwards he's all worked up from the speech. I couldn't believe how calm he was. Pence wasn't that way when he came out.
better idea of his body language when you're actually there, you know?
Yeah. You know, it was amazing when the campaign manager was speaking, and then we hear the roar of Marine One over the arena, and you could actually feel I felt the walls in the room vibrate from Marine One being overhead. I mean, and it was like I was like Chris Wallace. I got goosebumps when I when I felt.
Yeah, and that's by the way, that's another big difference between when you're there and you hear the crowds yelling. I mean, you really feel the vibrations, man. It's an exhilarating feeling. You don't get that if you watch on TV. So anybody out there, if I'm sure there's going to be a lot more rallies, you know, all around the country. If you get a chance, please go there. But one other thing. The reason why my legs were like almost giving out while I was waiting online, but here's one difference in this rally. We were told that since we were like towards the front, we would be able to get on the stage.
Yeah.
This is great, and I'll be able to sit down. But this was different because you noticed there was no stage this time behind Trump.
That's right, no stage. It was just the cap. You know, I'll tell you too. I saw in person for the first time Matt Gaetz, and I was surprised. He is a skinny guy. TV's adds a lot of weight. He's young as hell and skinny as hell. I was surprised to see Gaetz, how thin he is and young. And when Trump brought up our Florida Republicans, the governor, the congressman, Bondi, and all the rest, you know, the lieutenant governor, what a great winning team of people we have compared to these losers in the Democrat Party. Mike, and by the way, I asked some callers earlier, and one guy noticed it. Did you notice the sexy female security detail that they had?
No, I didn't notice.
I guess what am I, a perv? One other guy noticed them. I guess I'm starting to sound like a creep. I guess I'm the only one that noticed. There was a civilian security company there doing security in the stands down in the lower portion, and they were all ex-military, and they had a whole bunch of them that were women, and they looked like Marines, and they were not snowflake millennials. I'll tell you that. I mean, the security, the Secret Service are so polite too, aren't they?
Listen, because when you say when you first came in, I didn't notice them because I was focused on one thing only. I wanted to get to the stage as quick as I could.
Oh, you missed the security. Yeah. No, somebody in the chat said I'm salivating over the female security. No, I'm not salivating. I have never seen women who look like this. It kind of it just basically reminded me of Wonder Woman, Paradise Island. I've never seen a security detail with so many women that look like this. It was very unusual. If anybody who saw it will know what I'm talking about. That's not like a perv like I'm sounding today. I've never seen women in that kind of you know what? Yeah, they look like an Israeli military security team is what they look like. I've just never seen a group. I've seen a woman like that, but I've never seen a detail of that many women in that kind of shape before doing security at anything. I've just never. They did look like they could have been Israeli. They were either U.S. Marines or Israelis.
By the way, your observation is absolutely correct. It was compared to 2016. The crowd there is what the left calls much more diverse.
Well, you should have suffered and stayed on the floor because you wouldn't have made it through the speech, and you might have been the one carried out by the firefighters.
But I would see the thing is I wouldn't have even made it to Trump. My legs were.
You didn't look well.
On the floor.
Yeah.
He said, no, you can't sit on the floor. I'm going, well, yeah, but why not? Why can't we sit on?
When I saw you get to the seat, because you called me and I said, well, there's some seats up here. Come on up. When I saw you in the seat, you looked like you were on your last leg. You looked like you were about to collapse. And this was about 3 hours before Trump came out. All right, PJ, good talking to you. Good to see you yesterday. Got to run. I'm not pointing out this security detail because, I'm a creep. I've just never seen a security detail of women like this before. It's unusual. Oh my goodness. All right, we'll take a break. We'll take a break. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be right back after this.
People put off the medical care they need for a lot of reasons. My deductible is too high. I don't have insurance. My schedule is too
Okay.
I just can't afford.
Oh, yeah, I got to get to my sound bites. I got all these sound bites. So I gotta get
over. Thanks to any lab test now of
enamored? No, not enamored. It was just unusual. It was unusual.
PSA only $34.
And one of them removed the snowflake protester behind Trump.
Thyroid panel $49. Diabetic A1C test only $27. No doctor's order or prescription needed. All testing is always anonymous and confidential. In and out in 15 minutes or less. Most results in 24 to 48 hours. Make sure to ask about their
Have I ever met a female Marine? And no, I don't think so.
And environmental allergens and vitamin deficiency test, drug testing, you name it. Any lab test now at Plantation, probably test for it. Any lab test now at Plantation is located at 8367 West Sunrise Boulevard in the Jacaranda Plaza on the corner of University Drive and Sunrise Boulevard
Yes.
in Plantation. Give them a call, 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072. Online, labtestingplantation.com. Take control of your health with any lab test now of Plantation. 954-916-1072.
No, I don't think so either. I guess not.
This is Steve Kane.
Steve Kane Show. Hey, Doug.
Nathan at the Nathan
I guess
Clinic,
not.
a renowned plastic surgeon here in South Florida who will bring out your most beautiful self. Dr. Nathan, highly skilled, knows how to reveal your inner beauty and make you look your absolute best. He's a
Yeah,
board
he was just
certified
some
plastic surgeon.
snowflake millennial who was just screaming something. I couldn't make out what he was screaming. Trump didn't even acknowledge him, and people were yelling, "Go home to mommy."
Performs breast augmentations, facelifts, Botox,
I got about 3.5 hours sleep.
liposuction, and much, much more. Visit his website.
Well, tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so I get that. I'll probably
They love Dr. Nathan.
take a nap
You
today.
will too. He has years of experience and impressive credentials that make Dr. Nathan the only plastic surgeon you need visit. He'll advise you and tell you the best course of action so that you will always
Yeah, I
remain
like
who
PJ's
you
calls. Yeah, I like
are.
PJ's
You
calls.
can contact Dr. Nathan
PJ's a personality.
by calling
You know, if you know what I mean by that, he's a personality.
680-5121. That's area code 305-680-5121 or online at drnathan.com. Tell him you heard it on the Steve Kane Show.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. This is the one time of year you can make changes to your Medicare plan. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080, and have her review your Medicare plan, 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Let me play a clip or two before I go back to the phones. Doug, you're next. Well, let me play this one again because I love this. This is the one clip I have of the president last night. This is my favorite one. This was just beautiful.
Absolutely nothing about energy. What business are you in, sir? The mailbox business? Oh, mailbox. Whoa, that's.
This is the best.
You know, Hunter Biden?
That's the best. Bail bonds, but do you know Hunter Biden? Oh my goodness, that is the best. And Trump just came up with that. Now, when I was walking in to the arena, I know, isn't that great? That's a great one. That's a great one. That's a good one. When I was walking in, I saw the counter protest that the Dems put together, and they had this stage that was the smallest little stage. You know, when the Democrats of Broward rented a stage for their counter protest, I think they rented the smallest stage that the stage renting company had available. It was so tiny. It was about the size of the room that I'm in, and this is a small room I'm in. And they had this ragtag group of about a dozen people holding some signs. Lock them up, you know, convict in chief, you know, and they're standing there, you know, like zombies. And I didn't watch the speech. I pulled this up offline. Debbie Wasserman Schultz came out and spoke. And this is I'm going to play this clip of Debbie Wasserman Schultz. This is the most low energy. She makes Jeb look like a high energy individual, okay? You know, Sleepy Jeb, remember? Debbie Wasserman Schultz is rambling like Joe Biden and has energy levels lower than Jeb's. And she was the keynote speaker at the gathering that they called a counter protest at the Trump rally last night. Listen to this.
Trying to escape taxes and prosecutors,
Steve Kane show.
or probably both, that it's not surprising that he would try to fake that Florida is going to be his actual residence. The other likelihood is that he wants to get a few more rounds of golf in, because that seems to be what he spends the majority of time, the majority of his personal time doing, unless, of course, he's sitting in the residence in the White House tweeting and misspelling words while doing so.
Okay. Yeah, I know. She's rambling like Joe Biden. She's incoherent, stumbling on her words, and even her crowd of a dozen Democrat sycophants aren't even cheering her comments. And you know what Debbie's doing there? What Debbie Wasserman Schultz is doing there? She's trying to be like Trump with one-liners and insults. And by the way, he's not pretending Florida is his home. It is his residence. He has a massive resort. It's called Mar-a-Lago, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And that was embarrassing. And that really, you know, the significance of that is this. This is Broward County, which has a long history of being a Democrat stronghold with a Democrat party machine that rallies Cook County and Chicago, Illinois, okay? And the Democrat Party machine is done in Broward County. That was pathetic. They couldn't even give the appearance of a crowd, and they couldn't even get a coherent speaker to give any coherent comments to this crowd of sycophants. The Democrat Party machine is in some bad shape. It's in some bad shape, which is good. Greg, too, you're on the radio.
Yes, Brian. Let me ask you a question. Where was this little rally by Wasserman Schultz held? Where?
It was in the swale out in front of the arena, along the road that drives in front of the arena. Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone there many times, many events there. But let me ask you a question. What time did you arrive at the...
About 3:30.
And what time did you leave?
Well, luckily, the great seats I had were right by the exit, so I left about 9:30-ish or so.
So you actually heard Marine One flying above, like the whole, you could actually...
Well, they had his, Trump's campaign manager was speaking, Brad Pascal, whatever his name is. I'm not sure what his name is. He's a good guy. And while he was speaking... You could hear the Marine One helicopter blades, and the whole building vibrated. The whole building vibrated. I mean, it was like, oh man, I wish I was outside to see it.
Went to the Republican National Convention. I've never been to one of his rallies though, so it was greater than your expectation.
Oh, beyond! I'm so glad. I really didn't want to go because I get up so early to go to work, and I think it'll be better on TV. You know, like I don't like watching football in person. I like to watch football on TV. I can't follow the game in person like I can on TV, and I'm so glad I went. I'm so glad I went. I mean, it was a great experience. Great experience.
People don't realize that Trump supporters are good people, honest people. Like you said, I guarantee you weren't encountering any cursing at you or.
Well, there was that Democrat in front of PJ that gave the bird to them, to some people. But no, other than the couple of Democrats that made their way in, no, it was the honest people, And there's an immediate bond, I was by myself, so I stepped out to go to the men's room. They held my seat for me. I don't even know these people, They held my seat for me and everything, and it was very nice.
These rallies, the more I'm actually getting encouraged by him being reelected. And the Democrats are a mess right now. They don't know. They've got Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas. They've got, Joe Biden, who can't even remember what day it is. So I'm telling you right now, I'm sure you're encouraged, and all our Trump supporters out there should be encouraged.
Oh, yeah. All right, great. Appreciate the call. Thanks so much. All right. Conservative Doug, you're on the radio.
Good morning. Good morning. First thing, I don't know if you'll be live tomorrow. I wanted to say you and Steve have a happy Thanksgiving.
Hello?
You know, I was watching Fox yesterday, and sure enough, they shut it off to put Tucker on, so I went over to One American News. So I was a little...
Yeah, that's insane to me that Fox News would pull. I don't blame Tucker for that. I think that's a editorial decision made by management. They don't want him to have. You know, I was talking earlier about this. I'd like to mention this one more time too, because this is such an important thing that you get to see in person that you don't see there. The press box is right in front of the president. He's what he sees when he's talking at these rallies. And what I described it as earlier on the show in the last hour, the press stage a silent protest while he's speaking. Before he comes out, they're up there busy at work. Even if they're not broadcasting, they're on their laptops and everything. When the president comes out, they all sit in their chairs. They lean back like they're asleep. They don't look at him. They're having private conversations. They're staging a silent protest to show that they're not interested, and also an effort to try to throw him off, because when you're doing a speech and you're looking at people that are not interested in falling asleep, it can be distracting. And the silent protest of the media that goes on that you don't see on television is disgusting. They're disgusting people.
Well, I
Steve
switched
Kane
around and I heard on CNN saying, people go to these rallies because, first of all, they just want to see a celebrity. They don't really care about his policies. And we are all cult members, which are cult members.
That's the new thing. Yeah, I tell you, though, when I left, I went to get on the Sawgrass Expressway and on Sunrise Boulevard, and you couldn't get north on Sawgrass. They had it blocked off for the president. So I had to take I-75 south to 595, drive to the Turnpike. I had to go so far out of my way to get out of that joint last night, but it was worth it. I was so excited at that rally. It was really an incredible experience. You should have been there. You live right down the street. Steve Kane Show.
Yeah, man, I was thinking about going, but I was going to go, and then...
Yeah. Excuses. You have more excuses than a Democrat. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Some people that do have mental health issues, you do realize that.
Yeah. So now you're going to mock, typical. So now you're going to mock people that have mental health issues? Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, boy. All right, let's take our break. And then we'll be back with more to share. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. Don't go anywhere.
This is Adrienne Kane. It's Christmas time, and what better gift to give than the gift of a good night's sleep with a MyPillow pillow top mattress. Dad gave me one as a gift, and I'm so glad he did. I was talking to Dad, and I was telling him I wasn't sleeping at night. I was tossing and turning all night long. I had an old, worn-out, lumpy, bumpy mattress that was so uncomfortable, I wasn't getting any sleep. A couple of days later, there was a knock at the door, and it was a MyPillow
He had nothing to
mattress.
say, so he did the ha-ha-ha.
I slept on it that night, and ever since I've been sleeping the whole night through. No more tossing, no more turning, and when my alarm goes off in the morning, I'm up and ready to go and sleep with a MyPillow mattress. Go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. When you use the promo code KANE, you can save up to $300 off your MyPillow mattress. They come in all sizes, from twin to California king and every size in between. Go to MyPillow.com and be sure to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Order yours today. It's worth its weight in restful sleep. Merry Christmas from the whole Kane family.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer.
Hey, Janet. Yeah, Steve's not here today. I didn't know he wasn't coming in.
Of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this for you than Dr. Jose
Did you have a good
Mendez.
meeting with them over there?
Dermatologist. And when it comes to caring for your skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible and skin cancer free, you want Dr. Mendez as your
Well, why don't you call you when I get off the air?
And very knowledgeable. Your
I'll
annual
give
skin
you a call a
cancer
little after
exam is
9.
covered by Medicare.
Okay, all right, bye.
Dr. Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve Kane recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve is good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah. She takes extra good care of Steve Kane listeners and will get you an appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in
Oh,
South Florida,
man.
Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Yes, we are back. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. I'm going to go quick through some things here because I did not realize what time it is. The show is almost over. There's 21 minutes left, and the show has flown by. I've been talking about the rally last night, and there's a couple things I want to share with you. I know, can you believe 3 hours sleep, 3.5 hours sleep? It's hormone replacement pellet therapy, people. You can have the energy I have. I was up for, 20 hours yesterday, 3.5 hours sleep, and here I am, lightning fast through this 3-hour broadcast. Call Dr. Matez. Talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy, people, all right? It's completely free consultation for listeners of the Steve Kane Radio Show. 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. And hormone therapy, BocaRaton.com is his website. Pete Buttigieg is totally screwed. I mean, he's got so many problems with black people. I mean, he's uncomfortable with black people, Mayor Pete. He's uncomfortable with black people. He's got problems with the white police officer who shot the black guy in South Bend. And then a video came up of when he was running for mayor. And this was it was either a televised interview or a debate. I'm a little unsure of the format. I picked this up this morning. And this is Mayor Pete talking about blacks and education. And I found this on Twitter, and I'll tell you who tweeted this, which is very significant. You know that comedian, the black comedian that's on CNN? Kamal Ball, is that his name? Is it Kamal Ball or Camus Ball? Something, you know what I'm talking about, right? Liberal black CNN comedian tweeted this video, and he's pissed at Buttigieg. So that's where I found this on Twitter this morning. Listen to this.
The kids need to see evidence that education is going to work for them, right? So you see a lot of parts of
That's
town
part of the
where-
motivation.
Yeah, because you're motivated because you believe that at the process there's a reward, there's a stable life, there's a job. And there are a lot of kids, especially the lower income minority neighborhoods, who literally just haven't seen it work. There isn't somebody they know personally who testifies to the value of education. So yeah.
Okay, so Mayor Pete said in the black community, there's nobody there to talk about the value of education. There's no one to talk about the value of education in the black community. That's his take on black. What the hell does he know about black communities and black people? And let me tell you, I've talked often. I went to what they call a majority minority school in high school. I went to a high school where white people were the minority. I grew up, went to high school in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, right down the street from the beautiful Fort Lauderdale beach and everything. But I went to a kind of like, it's like going to an inner city school. And let me tell you something. You want to talk about role models and family values. You find better role models and family values inside the black community than anywhere else. And not just the school teachers, but in the black communities, you find incredible role models that instill the value of education. in the mothers and grandmothers in these communities, in ministers at the churches, at the local boys club or the local YMCA, and of course school teachers in the area, as well, and they are really going after Buttigieg on this, and he's a typical Democrat, white liberal, but see, he's so young and inexperienced. He doesn't. He's kind of like AOC. He doesn't have the filters. He doesn't know. He's stupid because he has no life experience. Oh yeah, he has a deep voice and all, and he went to Oxford and all that stuff, but a real education comes from life experience, and he has none of it. And he puts his foot in his mouth all the time. And when I saw that black comedian from CNN tweeted that video, that's where I found it this morning on Twitter, and he was pissed off at him. Believe me, Buttigieg is he's into it up to his eyeballs. And a Democrat can't move forward without the support of the black community. And they're already in trouble, the Democrats, with the blacks, because Trump has taken so much of the community away. Now, listen, I apologize for the short segment. I got to take a break here. We're going to come back with the gold report. And I have one more thing I want to touch on before we end the show. Don't go anywhere, all right? I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire.
Oh, I will. Yeah, we go out to eat on Thanksgiving. We don't eat at home.
Right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare benefits.
I know it did. I haven't gotten to my show prep. Yeah, we go out. We go out to eat. That's the best. No dishes, great food. Oh yeah. And we eat early on Thanksgiving. It's more like lunch. All right, welcome back, everyone. It's the day before Thanksgiving. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. It's time for the Morning Gold Report with William Youngerman. William Youngerman, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Good, good. Hope y'all have a great Thanksgiving, nice weekend. The markets are doing pretty much what they've been doing, which is trading in a narrow trading range. Gold between 1450 and 1465 for the last several days. Right now, we saw gold close yesterday at 1461.30. That was up $6.30. Silver was up 19 cents at $17.04 the ounce. Platinum closed up $11 at $906, and palladium closed up $13 at $17.91. And this morning we've got the metals going back down to the lower end of the trading range. Gold at $1454.30. That's down $7 right now. Pretty much giving back all their gains from yesterday. Silver down 13 cents at $16.91. Platinum down $6 at $900 the ounce, and palladium down $5 at $17.86. Don't expect a lot today, with a lot of traders probably taking off for the long weekend and the holiday. So we can for quiet trading. We'll be closed Thursday and Friday, but we'll be back in the office.
Yeah, that's right. You know, William Youngerman's office will be open. You open today, normal hours? Okay, normal hours today. Closed Thursday and Friday. Reopen on Monday. And I'll tell you, William Youngerman, great place for your holiday shopping, okay? You hear us talk sometime. Great prices on watches, on jewelry, very great prices. And also, parents and grandparents, let me tell you, the gift of the precious metals for your kids and grandkids is an incredible gift. Steve started this with his boy when he was young, and he is one of the most financially responsible and secure people I know, because getting involved in the metals as a kid showed him appreciation for money that very few people have. So it's a great, William Youngman, a great place to buy coins to give to kids and grandkids for Christmas. Give them a call, no matter where you're located, by the way, out of town as well. 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. Stop in person in Boca Raton, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road, on the first floor of the Bank of America building. All right, you have a good Thanksgiving. We'll talk on Monday. All right, take care, take care. Now, this here, I got to play for you. This is crazy. One of these conservative groups went to a college, and it's, one of those things like campus reform. One of those conservative college-age millennial groups went and talked to liberal students on the campus about Thanksgiving. And I'm just going to play this for you. It kind of explains itself. And I'll tell you, people, conservative people spend their whole lives working and saving to send their kids to college. They send them to a liberal university, and all of your great parenting and role model and everything you've been through your entire child's life can be destroyed if you send them to a liberal college. Listen to this. Conservative interviewing college kids on the campus here about Thanksgiving.
Yeah, well, I think that Thanksgiving has been misconstrued a lot, especially in textbooks, and it's kind of just based off of the genocide of indigenous people. And I don't really think that we actually give thanks on Thanksgiving. We just eat a bunch of food, and it's just a bunch of capitalist bullshit.
We're here today. Okay, now I cut out. I didn't have time this morning for a bleep. She says Thanksgiving is just a bunch of capitalist BS. She said the whole word there. I know, class act.
At McAllister College, a small Christian private school in Minnesota, asking students if it's okay to celebrate Thanksgiving.
Ooh, leaning towards no. I feel like with, the historical context and, kind of the really awful oppression of, indigenous people, the holiday is really praised by, I think, people more.
I gotta tell you, I wish I was a Seminole Indian so much. Here in Florida, we have two great Indian nations, the Miccosukee and the Seminole Indians. I'd rather be Seminole than Miccosukee. They are rolling in dough. All this genocide and everything that these snowflakes are whining about. They have this Hard Rock casino. They just opened up. Look this up online, you out-of-towners. The Seminole Indian tribe of Florida just opened up this guitar-shaped Hard Rock hotel that's a high-rise guitar. Every member of the Seminole Nation get a check every month for thousands of dollars just because they're a Seminole. They don't have to work for it or anything. They get even with the white man by selling the vice of tobacco and gambling. And they are rolling in dough, Indians here in Florida. Miccosukee too, not on the same scale. But man, I wish I was an Indian, a Seminole Indian too, because you get all that. And if you live on the res, no taxes. So anyway, all this stuff that these snowflakes are whining about.
The historical context and, kind of the really awful oppression of, indigenous people. The holiday is really, praised by...
Does this guy sound like he has a girlfriend?
I think people more on the conservative side of things to uphold that sort of tradition.
The original, the celebrating a feast,
the soy boy,
really isn't, because of the notions of what the actual holiday was.
Well, I mean, the entire thing is sort of based off of indigenous peoples and the murder of indigenous peoples in history.
Not really, but what do Americans do except for celebrate unethical holidays?
Unethical
What
holidays.
other holidays are unethical?
Columbus Day. I mean, Christmas break, it should be labeled as winter break in general, but most schools are celebrating Christmas break.
Sure. Do you celebrate these holidays?
More or less.
Is it okay to celebrate Thanksgiving?
No. Yeah, it's probably not as bad as Christmas or...
Not as bad as.
I don't know.
So you think Christmas and Easter are worse than Thanksgiving?
Yeah, definitely. Don't celebrate Christmas and Easter.
Sure.
It sucks. I'm pretty anti-religious, so think that they're just like.
Why are you at a religious school then? There's a church right over there.
It's true. It's true. It's a good point.
What a dumb idiot. I mean, he's anti-religion, but he's at a Christian school. What a jerk.
Yeah, it's probably not as bad as Christmas or Easter.
What's so bad about Christmas and Easter? I don't understand. With the birth of Christ, the resurrection of Christ. What is so bad about Christmas and Easter to this punk?
Like, I don't know.
So you think Christmas and Easter are worse than Thanksgiving?
Yeah, definitely. Don't celebrate Christmas and Easter.
Sure.
It sucks. I'm pretty anti-religious, so I think that they're just like.
Why are you at a religious school then? There's a church right over there.
It's true. It's true. It's a good point.
Is it okay to celebrate Thanksgiving?
That's a good question. I think it's okay as long as your values are in the right place. So the history of the holiday is obviously not the best.
Oh.
And it's very violent and oppressive, but if you are celebrating like the value of gratefulness and friendship and love and family, then I think that's a different story.
Just as an opportunity to spend time with family and like eat food and stuff, I think it's mostly fine.
So the question we're asking, is it okay to celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday?
Yes.
We've been hearing from a lot of students that they won't be celebrating Thanksgiving because of the history of the holiday. How do you respond to that?
I see it more as like a time to spend like time with your family and like to enjoy like being together and be thankful for that rather than for like what the actual history of it is.
Okay. Is it okay to celebrate Thanksgiving?
I would think it depends, just because all the education that we've gotten in public school has only told like the side of the story from like the white colonizers.
So what do you think the real Thanksgiving story is?
Colonizers.
I think the real Thanksgiving story, I don't know what it is because I wasn't there and because I don't have all the historical information.
I mean, the public school education tells you that Thanksgiving was this great meeting where, you know, the Native Americans showed the Pilgrims how to, you know, grow corn. And obviously that's not true. But what legitimately happened on Thanksgiving, I have no idea.
Okay, but she's against it. You know, this whole idea that they're indigenous, the Indians, they call them Native Americans now, they are as indigenous to North America as Europeans are, you know? They're, you know, and they used to teach us this, right? The Indians, their ancestors came from Asia. Remember they had that land bridge from Asia through Alaska? They came down. Yeah, they're Asian descendants. The so-called, I'm Native American. I was born in America. I consider myself Native American. What about you guys? Now, if you're Inca or something like that, yeah, you're indigenous. If you're Inca, Mayan, you know, you are indigenous because they're indigenous to the Americas. But the Indians that they're talking about are not indigenous to North America, just like we are not. Our ancestors are not indigenous. And there's very few indigenous people. The only truly indigenous in the world are blacks in Africa, right? Asians in Asia, and Jews in Israel. Those are three groups that without question are indigenous to those lands. And notice I throw in the Jews in Israel. I know, you know, and we know this because the Bible tells us so. But hardly anyone is indigenous, including these punks, okay, at the school. Oh, my goodness. Good morning. Oh, ow.
He's a handwritten.
All right, enough. He's deranged. Listen, he'll be spending Thanksgiving at the lunch counter at Denny's with all the other lonely single men. Oh, by the way, Friendly Tire is open on Black Friday. Okay, Friendly Tire is open on Black Friday. So, yeah, and also on Saturday. So Friendly Tire this week, of course, closed for Thanksgiving, but will be open on Black Friday as well as Saturday, Friendly Tire, with all those incredible low prices. And make sure you mention the Steve Kane radio show when you stop into Friendly Tire. Again, Friendly Tire open on Black Friday as well as Saturday. Well, I got to tell you, we're winding up here, but it was a great rally last night in Sunrise. All the listeners I met over there, it was great to meet you all. I'm glad I got to meet you. And it was a wonderful, wonderful rally. And if you did not catch the speech last night, you really go online and watch it. okay? And in particular, that portion where the president was talking about the fake news on the heart attack. I talked about it in detail earlier, so I don't have time now because we're out of time. But he really exposed the media for what they are, a bunch of damn liars, okay? A bunch of damn liars. And that part of the speech last night is very important if you missed it. So go back to the Trump speech if you missed it and watch that portion of it. Meanwhile, everybody else out there, you have a great Thanksgiving. My name's Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. You guys have a great Thanksgiving. Take care, and we'll talk to you next time. Show flew by. Oh my goodness. The show flew by. All right, take care on Facebook. Hey, listen, everyone on YouTube, I don't know what we're doing on Friday. I don't know if we're working or not on Friday. That's why I didn't say. I don't know. It's still up in the air. See if I got to decide today. But if you're on YouTube and you're not subscribed, subscribe, all right, guys? I got to run, but I will see you later, okay? Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.